sluggish or feeling fatigued, you're about to get your afternoon boost with Tony Gwynn Jr.
That stat line was it was a little bonkers.
Chris Ello.
Whatever, you're such a schmo.
And Matt Scraby.
First off,
sure.
You're not just a tad older than me, so.
Don't blame us for any side effects.
You thrilled our fans throughout the postseason with a great performance.
Gwynn and Chris are ready to go.
Pretty fired up for a Finally It's a Friday program. We welcome you into Gwynn and Chris, Chrisello, Tony Gwynn Jr., and Matt Scraby, both idle today. Adam Klug sitting alongside here in the Odyssey Palace studios. Adam, I don't know if you're aware, we're running out of members of the show. We have one
Do I count
left.
as a member of the show?
You do now. Yeah, you've been here more lately than the rest of the guys. So it's good to have you.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
We have a good show today. Appreciate you joining us as always. And, just remind you that we don't take it for granted. Because of you, we're the number one sports talk station in San Diego, have been for a while, plan on being for quite a bit longer, but that's because of you guys out there. So thanks for being with us. And, we'll continue doing the best we can do. David Morgan will be our Friar Friday guest today. And got to thank our old cohort, Annie Heilbrunn, who did a great interview with David in the paper. Was it in the paper today or online today?
I read it online today.
It's
You'll get it in your
online.
paper tomorrow, probably.
In the paper tomorrow if you didn't see it online. But a couple of really good stories in there. Something that caught my eye. David Morgan shares a tragic connection with one of the greatest athletes of all time, that one being Kobe Bryant. We're going to discuss that a little bit with David when he joins us at about 2:40 today. But looking forward to that. He's pitched very well. And don't look now, David, but you're a part of the best bullpen in baseball. A big part of the best bullpen in baseball. That bullpen will most likely be on display tonight unless Nick Pavetta has something to say about it. Game 1 of a key weekend series for the Padres against the Boston Red Sox. Now, I said key weekend series. Almost goes without saying, right? There's 2 months to go in the season. You're 2 games out of first place. Pretty sure every series is going to be a key series. Pretty sure you're going to want to win every game. Pretty sure you're going to be disappointed when you don't win. Pretty sure you're going to be upset when the Dodgers lose and then you lose and don't pick up ground. And on it's going to go for the next 7 weeks. So dig in, get ready, and let's have some fun. I mean, this is what it's about. This is what we sign up for. Having a chance with, 7 weeks to go in the season to win the championship. That to me, it gets me excited. That should get you excited. I don't know how it's going to turn out. The Dodgers have won it, 10 of the last 11 years, something like that? I mean, the last time the Padres raised the banner in the National League West, what year was that? Remember when they honestly, I can barely remember. It's been so long. 2000, was it 2008? I'm going to look it up because I honestly can't remember. 2006. Are you kidding me? It's the last time the Padres won the West. I mean, man, it's almost 20 years just to win the division title. So, I want this. I think it's important. I understand that the playoffs are a crapshoot. That is the way it's going to be in Major League Baseball. But if I have my choice of playing a 2 out of 3 series at Wrigley Field and having to win 2 of those, or getting a bye and then getting home advantage in a 3 out of 5 series against maybe the Cubs as well, or maybe the Dodgers, maybe the Phil, whoever, I want that home series 3 out of 5. Let's win the division. Let the Dodgers mess around with that 2-game thing on the weekend. Let maybe them go home early. I don't want that. This team, the Padres have put together right now, is good enough to win the division. They're good enough to not win the division too. They may not, but you're here. You've got a shot at it. I say go for it. And people are going to say, well, you don't want to do it at the expense of the playoffs. What are you going to do in the next 7 weeks that would be at the expense of the playoffs? Really? Are you going to pitch somebody too many innings now so that they won't be ready to compete in the playoffs? I at that point, the only thing I would say potentially is, is Mike Schill, how's he going to use his bullpen the next 7 weeks? I think it's 7 games in a row that the Padres starting pitcher has not gone into the 6th inning heading into tonight. Now, hopefully Pavetta can break that streak. But how long can you get away with doing this? How long can you bring Morejon in the 5th inning, Adam in the 6th, Estrada in the 7th, Miller in the 8th, Suarez in the 9th, David Morgan if anything else happens? It's a wonderful thing that you have at your disposal. But can you do it every single day, every night? Can you do it for 7 straight weeks? Or are you going to just have to sit back every now and again and let Dylan Cease pitch the 6th inning, even though he's thrown 90 pitches? We'll see. I think that might be your one question mark. And to that end, I know that the guys this morning, when they had Mike Schilt on, asked him about using the bullpen and being able to, can he keep from using it too much? And I want to hear what he had to say. Do you have that? Let me hear it. Thanks, Adam, for queuing it up. But yeah, Ben asked him, can you keep going to your strength, even though you can't go to it every night? What did Mike Schilt say? I'm curious.
Listen, you always want to have your best arms out there, and I think it'd be wonderful if those guys could pitch every day. But they can't, or nor should they. It's just, it's a long season. And so that's the one thing that I think we'll probably have this conversation, hopefully be together for years and, but hopefully not continue to have the conversation about how really bullpens work.
Yeah.
They just can't pitch every day. And, I know people want to win. I don't think there's anybody who wants to win any more than, or equally amount as I do. I mean, AJ wants to win. Our whole team's, very much so wants to win. And yeah, when the day presents itself and those guys are available and fresh, we will absolutely run them out there. But there is a game the next day and a game the next day and a game the next day. And so you just have to be, judicious about doing it, because the other side of that coin that I also can possibly get, maybe even next week, is, are you pitching them too much? Are they going to be fresh?
Yeah.
Are they going to be there? And, sometimes you can have 2 desserts, but not always. And so you just have to be judicious about what that looks like. And, you clearly want to win that game, and that game is the most important game of the season, and there's no question about that. However, it is a game of a bigger picture, and you're also balancing both. And so anyway, just, hopefully I answered your question, but, yeah, of course it's, we've got a great bullpen. But those, having done it for a period of time, you can't keep pitching the same guys every day, and expect that to be a recipe it's going to work. And you just need to make sure that other people take the innings, and then appropriately, based on communication, based on their usage, you fire those guys in there. And we do know there's going to be times where we're going to push those guys a little bit and have, and there's going to be times where, somebody else has got to pick up that baseball and get some outs.
Going through the Arizona series, in the game on Wednesday, Morejon, Adam, and Miller. In the game on Tuesday, Morejon, Adam, and Miller again, along with Estrada, Peralta, Suarez, and Morgan. In the game on Monday, Peralta and Matsui. It's almost like a good thing that they lost Monday so that they could give the high leverage guys a night off and go with Peralta and Matsui. Go back to Sunday against St. Louis. Adam, Estrada, Morgan, Morejon, Suarez. It's pretty much every night. And it's not, you can blame Mike Schilt, his starting pitchers have got to give him more. Saturday night in the loss to the Cardinals, Estrada, Peralta, Morgan, Matsui. Pretty much, like I said, every night these guys are pitching, 3 or 4 of them. So that would be the one thing. How is he going to manage this? And are they going to be fresh for the playoffs? Because otherwise, man, this team has got it together right now. The bottom 3 in the order since the trade deadline have an OPS 300 points higher than it was before. So the worst part of the team all season, 7, 8, 9 hitting, now looks like a strength at the moment. And I mean, you can put these first 6 in any order you want. I mean, we talked about it on the roundtable yesterday. The lineup, how should it be constructed? Fernando, Arise, Machado, Merrill, Bogarts, O'Hearn, Laureano. Any way you want. All right. Padres and Red Sox tonight. Both teams have won 9 of their last 11 games, so it's exciting. And I want to remind you that the Mike Schilt stuff earlier today on the manager's report was refreshed by EcoWater SoCal.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Keeping it soft since 1925. Don't interrupt me when I'm reading a promo that makes you money.
Took a very pregnant pause there. I'm sorry.
All right. What do you got?
I don't get money in my pocket for that.
You don't get anything? Oh, okay.
But I think I know the answer to this question based on everything you've said in the segment, but I'll ask anyways.
Right.
We've got a fairly small sample size since they changed the playoff format and added the extra participants.
Right.
But
the 6 teams in each with the 2 out of 3 series, 2 teams get a bye.
But the teams that have gotten the first round buys have not fared well in the playoffs, which has sparked a lot of discussion. And you just went on a very eloquent rant about you want us to go for that. And so I take it you don't buy into the team that gets the bye fares worse in the playoffs. You'll take your chances with said bye. I know I would.
Yes, I will. And that is despite the fact that without question, the Phillies were the 6th seed in 2022, and they went to the World Series. They were the last team. 2023, the Diamondbacks were the 6th seed. They were the worst team in the playoffs. They went to the World Series. But last year, both the Dodgers and the Yankees had buys. So don't tell me you can't win with a bye. The Dodgers did it. The Yankees did it. In 2022, the Astros won the World Series. They had a bye. So I think it's a cheap excuse to say, well, we had a couple of days off and we lost our mojo. Well, the Astros didn't, and last year neither the Dodgers nor the Yankees did. So figure it out and, win those games. I don't want to hear the excuse that, well, we shouldn't have had a bye. I mean, really, you really would rather go to the Wrigley Field and play 2 out of 3 and have to win 2 there than you would sit home and wait for a series to start. I mean,
certainly
it's a
wouldn't.
no-brainer.
I think it's a ridiculous excuse, but it's out there for discussion nonetheless.
Don't disagree with that, Adam. You're 100% right. There are a lot of people who talk about it. All right, we're underway. David Morgan, we got our countdown today, and I think it's going to be an interesting one. Going to try to figure out, really, truly, who is the best team in baseball right now? That'll be in our countdown later on. We got all our regular segments, the Daily Gambit, the Big Five, Chris versus the fans. Adam is in for Scraby. I'm here. You're here. Let's relax and have some good times on 97.3 The Fan.
Things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not used to complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard. All right, welcome back. Gwynn and Chris getting underway. Finally, a Friday, and a pretty good one at that. Padres back home. It's just a 3-game homestand, and it kicks off, a big stretch of games for the Padres. Let's be honest about this. Every game means something right now. As a matter of fact, tonight's game is a matter of life or death. I didn't say that. Nick Pavetta did, though. Nick Pavetta is starting tonight, and he said in an article today in the UT by Kevin Acee that he treats every game as if it's life or death. I don't dislike that, by the way. We need a little more of that this means everything attitude from these ball players out there. I've said it so many times. I'm tired of the fraternization. I don't mind if Manny Machado gets along with Freddie Freeman. I just don't want to see it out on the field before the game. I don't really want to even see him hugging after the game.
If they want to shake hands and catch up, send each other a text. Just do it out of my view. I want to believe that Manny Machado right now hates Freddie Freeman. I'm using that as an example, but look, Walker Buehler's pitching tonight. We don't like Walker Buehler here. Why? Because Walker Buehler shoves when he pitches against the Padres, and Walker Buehler lets us know about it. Well, okay, he's got the right to. This guy's 6-1 with a 1.80 ERA and a 0.89 whip in his career against the Padres. He has dominated the Padres. He has every right to stick it to the Padres, which he seems to do just about every time he faces them. And those stats, by the way, are only regular season. So that doesn't include last year in the playoffs when he did it to us again. All right. So, but I like that. I like the fact that I don't like Walker Buehler. Like, I like the fact that there's guys on the other team that I'm not rooting for. So, give me Nick Pavetta tonight. Give me Nick Pavetta going out there and telling me that this game is life or death. I love it.
At the risk of wearing out something I've said in the past, will it be a little extra sweet to perhaps strike out Jarren Duran? Didn't get him at the trade deadline.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think everything will be extra sweet for Pavetta because he's a, former Red Sox, right? He was there for 5 years.
Xander Bogaerts, right?
Xander gets his former team. That might be a little more removed. This is a little fresher. I think Bogaerts now feels like he's a Padre. The Red Sox thing was in the past. Pavetta could have been easily re-signed by the Red Sox. They didn't show a lot of interest, nor did too many other teams. So I think for Pavetta, there's a little personal,
do you believe that?
Axe to grind tonight.
A little extra motivation?
Look, Michael, and if Michael Jordan could do it, it's good enough for anyone. Michael Jordan used to make stuff up about the other person on the other team that they didn't even do. And then he would make himself believe that they did something to piss him off so that he had more motivation to kick their butt. Fine with me. I like it. So I hope Pavetta's thinking about the fact that the Red Sox didn't, want to bring him back. I hope that he takes that out to the mound. I don't know that he needs to because he's already pretty geeked up. He's a competitor. I like it. And on the other side tonight is the same thing. Buehler, but I don't like him. So that, to me, makes for a fun matchup tonight. I will say that Walker Buehler this year is only 6-6, 5.74. I hope we see a little more of that guy tonight and less of the 6-1, 1.80 guy that has, he's tortured us.
Walker Buehler's last start was last Saturday, 4.1 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned runs against the Astros.
Yeah.
The start before that was against his former team, the Dodgers. 4.2 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs.
Right.
So he hasn't pitched especially deep into the games the last 2 outings.
Okay. Well, let's keep that in mind, but let's hope that continues. Again, this starts a stretch. You got Boston. You go to at San Fran. You go to at L.A., you go home San Fran, you go home LA, you go at Seattle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 consecutive series. All 6 teams have winning records. 19 games in a row against teams that you got to beat if you want to win this division. Let's win it. It's there for us. Let's win it. We'll get a lineup for you as soon as we have one. Don't forget, David Morgan will be on the show in about 20 minutes, and I'm looking forward to talking with him. He is a San Diego guy. I wasn't aware of that. I guess I was out the day that was reported. He was born here. So he's followed the Padres, grew up following them. He was in Orange County and, signed with his hometown team as a free agent. He was never drafted. If you want to root for guys, those are the kind of guys we all root for. We feel a little closer connection to the David Morgans out there. Guys that weren't drafted at all and have fought their way through. And now, doing some really nice things for the Padres. Let's hope he keeps it rolling tonight.
1.80 ERA, by the way, on the season. He's
a 1.80, yeah. He and same as Walker Buehler against the Padres, I'm sorry to say. Dodgers have Toronto tonight, so we'll keep a little eye on that. Now, Toronto's obviously playing great. They got the best record in the American League. We'll talk more about this in our Big Five, but the pitching matchup up there tonight is one that everyone's pretty excited about. Scherzer and Kershaw, two guys that have combined to win, count them, 6 Cy Youngs. That's a pretty good matchup tonight. It's only the second time they've ever faced each other. And the first time was by accident 17 years ago. Or no, I beg your pardon. Yeah, 17 years ago, 2008. My math is faulty, but not always wrong. So that's the matchup tonight. The Reds lost last night to Paul Skeens and the Pirates, so they fall a little further back. 4.5 games is what the Padres currently have as far as a little bit of comfort between them and the wild card. I want to ask you, we got 2 minutes before the break. Scraby and I talked about it yesterday, and I think it's just really interesting. But I want to get your opinion, Adam, because I like your opinion on stuff. Do you like the new and improved Fernando Tatis, who walks and, doesn't swing at bad pitches? Or do you miss the old Fernando that slugged and put up, 800, 900 OPSs as opposed to this one?
Are you ready for my nuanced answer?
Yeah, it's a tough answer.
I don't think it's tough at all.
Okay.
I think there's nothing to dislike about it because plate discipline is a skill, a talent, and it's something he hadn't really demonstrated in his past.
Okay.
It's something he clearly has worked on and decided to incorporate and make a part of his game when pitchers aren't really giving him pitches to hit. You say he's not slugging. Do you think he's forgotten how to hit home runs? Do you think he's lost his power? My point in saying that is he still has the ability to hit home runs while also adding and incorporating a new element to his game, which
Are
is
you
plate
sure
discipline.
of what you just said, though?
I am.
Okay. And here's my argument against what you just said. And I'm using crazy analytics. And
you're not allowed to do that, Chris.
Right, because I'm not a big fan of analytics. But I'm reading this right out of Kevin Acey's article. Last season, on pitches that were right in the heart of the zone,
right,
Tatis slugging percentage was .887.
Sure.
Pitches right there. This year on those same pitches, .449. It's 400 points lower.
He's also
So you're telling me and I'm agreeing with you, he's laying off the bad pitches. That is a skill. But you're telling me that you think he's still capable of punishing the ball. That statistic kind of goes against what you're saying, Adam.
Well,
I hate to tell
we're also
you.
looking at a smaller sample size of pitches in the zone, right? Because he's not getting pitches to hit.
Right.
I'm on his baseball savant page. You ready, Chris?
Yep.
Can I some newfangled statistics
Yes,
for you?
are you going to give me BABIP?
While his slug is not that high overall, his
Okay.
expected slugging percentage is .515, which is in the 85th percentile. His
Okay.
average exit velocity is in the 93rd percentile.
Okay.
His barrel percentage is in the 70th percentile. His hard hit percentage is in the 90th percentile.
Oh, wow.
I mean, his walk percentage, by the way, 92nd percentile. My point is, if you pull up his baseball savant page, it is all red.
They love it.
He is crushing the ball. He is hitting it hard. We're looking at a small sample size of balls in the zone that he hasn't done damage yet to this point. But again, based upon how hard he's hitting it and the angles he's hitting it, you would think he'd have better luck than he has.
Baseball
I love
savant.
that he's added the plate discipline to his repertoire.
All right. I think it's an interesting discussion. And I will finish with this because I'm hosting the show, so I get the last word. 4 home runs since Memorial Day is not my Fernando Tatis Jr. We'll see what happens when he gets back into the lineup tonight. He did sit out and get a rest on Wednesday. Gwynn and Chris is underway. David Morgan is next. Looking forward to talking with this young man. And as I mentioned earlier, he does have a tragic connection with Kobe Bryant. And we will discuss that with David and other things when we come back on Gwynn and Chris.
There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble. And Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well. But our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well. So So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are week 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off a birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel, but he wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You've hit some.
We are week 10 now, and it's getting really windy. It's actually kind of cold. I'm not gonna lie, I know we're in San Diego, but we're 3 under as a group. We just got off a birdie, and I just hit my defense. There's a squirrel, but he wants to attack me. Squirrely! We just got our second birdie of the day thanks to this guy.
Yeah, a 4-footer after.
It was a 5-footer.
After our pro drove it 300 to the front of the green and then chipped it within 5 feet.
Uh-oh.
Gravy, don't feed the animals.
Don't feed the animals. I do feed animals, but Chris made a birdie putt. Leaving the golf course. And we ended up shooting 63 once everything was accounted for, since it was a scramble and we had an SDSU golf player, Jack Townsend. He was with us and he did a lot for us. I think we shot 63 because of him, but we all had a good time. There's Roadrunner. Meet me. He doesn't like me. I guess I wouldn't like me either if I was chasing me. As you can see, I'm all Aztec'd out here at the Aztec Baseball Tournament. It's the SDSU Baseball Alumni Tournament. Right now, we are 1 under in the scramble, and Chris is playing well, Tony's playing well, but our ringer, Jack Townsend, is playing really well, so. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was.
Tony and Scraby are idle today, but Adam Klug is here, and we're hanging out with you until about 5:35 today. Pregame show will include the lineup for today's game, but you don't have to wait for that. Adam Klug has a lineup for the Padres tonight against Walker Buehler and the Red Sox. I'll let you read it, Adam. You're good at this stuff.
Well, after the discussion we just had, Fernando Tatis Jr. batting leadoff,
Yes,
playing right
They're
field.
not making any changes right now.
Arise batting second at first base, Machado third and third, Merrill batting cleanup in center, Bogarts fifth in the lineup. He's been hot, obviously.
He's been hot, but again, we go back to that 152 average RISP. Maybe that's just the way it's worked out because – right? Since the beginning of June, he's like the best slugging hitter in baseball. So it's kind of it's two sides of the coin there. Go ahead.
Ryan O'Hearn playing DH, Ramon Laureano in left field, Jake Cronenworth at second, and Elias Diaz catching in the 9-hole.
All right.
Nick Pavetta on the mound. I'm expecting 7 innings, 1 earned run.
Well, we'll find out. His over-under, I was just looking this up for the Daily Gambit, is 5 2/3. And, that's a fair over-under when you consider that the Padres starters in mass are not even getting to the sixth inning.
Like we said, Pavetta's a dog, man. I like him against his former team.
He's been the guy for the Padres. Why is he not – I know it's Paul Skeen's world, and we're just lucky to be living in it, but why is Nick Pavetta not getting any Cy Young love? What more does he need to do? He's 11-3, 2.73, 136 strikeouts, innings pitched, everything he's done. Zach Wheeler's great. These are other great pitchers. I'm not saying he should win the award, but I'd like to see his name pop up on the board once in a while when they give you that Cy Young rundown, and I don't see it.
He also was never mentioned on the list of all-star snubs. It was an all-star snub.
He was an all-star snub, and I think he was fair at the time.
He snubbed me.
No, it was fair at the time to say that the first half MVP of the Padres might have been Nick Pavetta if it wasn't Manny, but he didn't make the All-Star team. And I'll tell you another thing about that. I think he takes that with him to the mound every night. Oh, yeah? Not an All-Star, huh? I like it, man. I'm glad he didn't make the All-Stars. if it means he's going to go throw it down somebody's throat every night, then I'm glad he didn't make the All-Stars. All right, Pavetta
also gets to rest and not pitch an extra inning of work with warming up and everything.
There you go. All right, Pavetta and Buehler. By the way, tomorrow it's Michael King, and I think everybody's excited that he's back. I think you bring up a fair point, Adam, and you've brought the point up to me. The listeners haven't heard it yet, but they're going to hear it now. Is it smart on a team where you're already overusing your bullpen to bring Michael King up now and assume that he can probably only go 4 or 5 innings tomorrow, right? His last rehab start was 3+ innings. He's not going to go from that to 7 tomorrow. He's not going to go from 3 1/3 to 8.
Through 61 pitches, 34 for strikes.
So you're going to probably get him for 4 1/3, you know what I mean? So tomorrow, you're going to probably need all these guys. Maybe Pavetta makes it a moot point tonight. But is this the way to go? I mean, I don't know that it isn't. I don't want Michael King to be using bullets in the minor leagues either. But should he have built up more so that he could give you 6 innings tomorrow, not 4?
It's not even just about building up. And what I'll reference here is what happened with Yu Darvish, who made 0 rehab starts, right? He just came right off the IL after not having pitched all year, and he had 4 starts in a row when he joined the Padres, and he struggled. And now Michael King's made 1 start, and he didn't pitch that well, and he didn't pitch deep, and now he's coming back up to the majors.
We'll see. I mean, look, the thing is the Padres have enough starting pitching with the addition of Sears and Cortez that they could have given King another start or 2, but they did not, and we'll see how it works out. All right, I'm excited to talk to David Morgan, our Fire Friday interview. And David joins us from Petco right now. Appreciate the time, David Morgan. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, let's throw something a little different at you to start. Since becoming a legit part of this Padre bullpen and contributing the way you have, anybody come up to you yet and say, hey, you're helping my fantasy team? And what does that sound like to a major league player who probably hasn't heard it a whole lot before?
I haven't had anyone in person ask me that question yet, but I do get a lot of messages on social media.
Okay.
Thanking me for that, and for, obviously if things don't go well, getting kind of the opposite end of that, the opposite spectrum of that too.
Yeah. Well, look, I thought I'd throw a little something different at you to start. Look, May 26th, you made your debut, and we can talk a little bit about what went into getting to that point. But where would you say you are mentally since that day to now? Maybe even just confidence, or just overall, having been with this club for as long as you have now. Make the comparison from May 26th to, you say, August 8th here.
I think just, like you said, confidence is the biggest thing. Obviously this isn't the easiest clubhouse to walk into. You got a lot of older guys who been around the game a long time. Since the first day, I've made some good relationships here, and those guys have pushed me and just kind of taken me in with open arms and made me feel like I was truly a part of the team. And that's really helped me settle in. Just the friendships, meeting them for the first time, and that becoming a friendship now has built my confidence and helped me just continue to move forward.
David Morgan has been doing it and doing a really good job here for the Padres. And, I was watching you warm up the other night out there in the 10th inning or 11th inning, I guess it was, at Chase Field. And the Padres had a 1-2 run lead. And it was pretty clear you were coming in. And, I was thinking, hey, you're going to get your first save of your career. And then they scored too many runs, so you couldn't get the save. I know you didn't. You don't think about that. But just you have to feel better about the fact that they trust you now, in these kind of spots, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was in that game regardless of how many runs we put up. So starting to warm up, kind of putting myself into a close game situation in my mind. But then obviously we had a little bit of a barrel party there, scored some runs, and made the win a little bit easier. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters, the win. Getting the save is cool, but the win is what's important.
For sure. David Morgan he was actually born here in North County and grew up between San Diego and Orange County, went to OCC, Orange Coast College up there. And you weren't drafted. I've read that, that was not something that deterred you. You ended up getting signed by the Padres, but not being drafted, has it ever kind of given you an extra little edge, a little grind, an axe to grind type of thing?
Yeah, that kind of, obviously for me, it was just thankful for the opportunity and to try to make the most of it, but the organization, treated every single guy, whether you're the first rounder or the last pick, they treated us all the same and treated us with respect. So that made my life a little bit easier, coming into Pro Bowl.
And, boy, you get drafted 2022, but you make your debut 2025. Take us through, the process of the last 3 years and, kind of gaining a foothold in this organization to where you could get that opportunity this year.
Yeah, just keeping an open mind, kind of identifying what is important to the organization and getting really good at those things. That was kind of the biggest thing for me, was just identifying what was important here. And one of those things is building relationships and working hard in the weight room, on the field, off the field. And so that's kind of been my perception of it, is the relationships I've built is a big reason why I got pushed forward. Obviously performance is a big thing, but work ethic and the relationships you build along the way, that's, I think, what really got me the opportunities to continue to move up, and then ultimately putting up, a good enough of a performance to get called up here and then, stick around a little bit.
David Morgan is our guest, and I did read the article that was going to be in the paper probably tomorrow. So I really did want to just touch on this. Your coach at Orange Coast College, John Altobelli, had a profound effect on you and your career and everything that you've done. And he tragically lost his life in the helicopter crash that took Kobe Bryant. And you talked in this article a little bit about he was already the kind of guy that told you every day was the most important, every practice was the most important. But in his passing, you said that has really hit home with you, and you don't take anything for granted, and every day is the biggest deal.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's all you have. Right. It's a pretty cliche saying of, today's all you got. Right. But that's how he lived. It's today's the only day you can get better. You can't worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about the past. So he kind of spoke that into existence by, obviously we lost him, and that was a rough time of my life for sure. But his words kind of rang true in my life, and I kind of saw it portrayed in my life now. So yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, honestly, it was very nice of you to share it, because I mean, so many people go through what you did go through, and we try to learn those lessons and incorporate them in our lives, and to see that you've been able to do it is a nice inspiration for the rest of us. I'll let you go on this one. Mason Miller comes into the bullpen. The trade deadline happens. Give me just a feel. Look, they call you guys the best bullpen in baseball. That includes you now, David. I must say.
Yep.
How do you like this whole thing?
I love it. Yeah, obviously you add a guy like that with his abilities. Some things are going to change a little bit, but I think you guys have probably seen in the last week since he's been here, there's been some roles kind of changed a little bit, which is the biggest part. But he's here to help us and just make this bullpen even better. So he's been a great addition. He's been a really cool guy to work with, and we're all very excited.
I'll come full circle in our interview now, David, and I will tell you, I picked you up on the fantasy squad about a month ago, and I appreciate it. We finished in a full circle here. Thank you so much, and enjoyed getting talked to you. Good luck the rest of the way, man. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Right on. Thank you.
Yes, very good. David Morgan right there. And he's done the job. My goodness, 26 games for the Padres. And I'll tell you, Adam, when they brought him in, in late May, I don't think anybody really even heard much of David Morgan at that point. There was other names, there was other guys that we had, been talking about in spring training, and, people down at AAA, and then they bring up David Morgan, and I think everybody's like, huh? And right away, look, he pitched the first couple of games, and then I remember pretty early that he came into a game like in the 8th inning when they were down by a run. And I thought, well, this is a pretty high leverage situation for a guy, in his 3rd or 4th game, but he pitched well. I think he even got the win. And ever since, man, David Morgan's been really, really good for the Padres. So he's a big part of that bullpen right now going forward. And, the story about his coach, I mean, it's pretty heartfelt thing that happened here, and we all were touched by the passing and the tragedy involving Kobe Bryant. It happened in 2020 now. My goodness, it's been that long. But the part that we don't hear about, you don't hear about, is the other people that were on that helicopter. And John Altobelli was David Morgan's, not just his coach. We didn't get a chance to get totally into it. David Morgan talks about this guy. He was really a guy that helped him grow in life and life lessons, and a guy that took him under his wing and helped him through difficult times in his life. So this John Altobelli, he mattered a lot to David Morgan. John Altobelli was not the only one on the helicopter. John Altobelli's wife and daughter also passed in that tragedy. And, I think, David Morgan now, this guy's, 25 years old, to have that life lesson. But it sounds like he's done a good job with it in terms of saying to himself, okay, John Altobelli told me that every day is a gift, and now I've seen it. And, he tries to live his life this way. This is a good lesson to learn early on. And it sounds like David Morgan's been able to, and again, a nod of the cap to Annie for asking him about that stuff, because I don't think a lot of us would have known. He'd also has Roman numeral tattoo on behind his ear, apparently, that pays tribute to John Altobelli's number and another friend of his who had passed during college. So David Morgan keeps it pretty close to his heart. Very interesting stuff about this guy. And glad we had him on our Friar Friday today. Hope we don't see him tonight, though. Hope we'll just go Pavetta for 9. Give David the night off.
Is there anybody like that in your life? Whether they don't have to have passed, they can still be with us, but just a mentor, a coach, someone who's really impacted your life in a huge way.
That's a great question, and it's a bit of an emotional question for almost everyone. My mom was not married, but lived for over 20 years with a man named Lloyd Walters. My mom has passed also, but Lloyd passed many years ago. All I have to say about Lloyd Walters was that this guy, everyone would tell you, was the nicest guy ever, and he would just do anything for anybody. I've not ever been able to live up to that, but he was the guy that I tried to emulate me. I would like people to say, and I know you don't all say this, but I would like people to say, man, there goes Chris Ello. He's a nice guy. He'd do anything for anyone. So Lloyd Walters
except
would be
Juan Soto.
Well, I don't like Juan Soto, but no, I would do something for Juan Soto if he asked. I don't think he's ever going to. So that's my answer. But it's I think everybody hopefully has somebody that they've been able to get good lessons from, whether it was taught or whether you saw it just by watching and trying to emulate it. I think that's something that is important for all of us. I'll let that sit for just a second. Now, this weekend, there's something else going on in baseball. Jen Powell. And do you know the pronunciation? I don't. Yeah, it's P-A-W-O-L.
I didn't mean for the pause there. If you would have asked me my thoughts, I would have chimed in.
What's that?
You said you're going to let it sit there because I didn't say anything. I didn't know if you didn't ask me a question.
I was just letting it. No, I know. I was just letting it set for a second. Jen Powell is the first female major league umpire, and she will make her debut tomorrow during the Braves-Marlins game. She will work home plate on Sunday. Congratulations. This is a big deal for baseball, but is it a little late in coming, Adam? I don't want to put a negative spin on something that I believe is positive, but NBA referees, women 28 years ago, NFL officials 10 years ago. Where's baseball been on this?
Well,
is that fair, or should we just, sit back and be glad it's finally happening?
In the vein of not casting aspersions without being informed, has it taken this long because baseball suppressed them and didn't want them here?
Right,
or were there no female umpires to make it this far, and that's why they were there? I don't know the answer to that question, so I don't want to judge.
Yeah.
But obviously, we all watch sports and we see female referees and in the NBA and in the NFL, and so it makes you wonder. I just don't know the answer.
Fair enough. I don't either. I don't really.
But if there are females who are coaching in football and basketball at the lower levels and working their way up, you would also have to assume that there's likely to be female umpires as well. So
you would think that there would have been a few that at least come close. I know there was many in the minor leagues that never got the call. So I guess it's how you want to look at that. But anyway, it's a step forward. It's a step in the right direction. So I'm happy to see that happening.
The better thing will be
this weekend
when it gets to the point where it doesn't matter, right? It's just commonplace, and we
want
the umpires and the referees to make the right calls regardless of if they're male or female.
You're on the same page as I am on stuff. I honestly wish we could have not have the first black athlete to accomplish something. I mean, I'm happy that it's being accomplished, but I wish we didn't have to even refer to it anymore. I wish it could just be, it's another athlete to accomplish something good, but we're not quite there yet. All right, first hour in the books. Thanks to David Morgan. Thanks to Padres setting him up our Friar Friday interview. When we come back, a little Daily Gambit for you. We got a lot of fun stuff to get to today. Gwynn and Chris, without Gwynn or Scraby, but we're getting along okay, I think. Thanks to all of you out there on 97.3 The Fan. And happy to be here. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. 3 o'clock. Hour number 2 of our finally a Friday program here. Adam Klug sitting in today for Scraby. Tony Gwynn Jr.'s idol as well. And everybody will be back on Monday. And by that time, hopefully the Padres will have, well, let's just take all 3 from the Bo Sox. And then, I think we can count on Toronto getting 2 out of 3 up in L.A. How'd you like to wake up Monday tied for first place, Adam Klug?
I would feel great about that. I was going to say your co-host, Tony Gwynn Jr., will be in studio with you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
For a couple of days.
Yeah, not calling the Giants series.
Always good to see Tony. Yeah, he's not calling a few games here. Speaking of guys that are calling games, Sam Levitt will be joining us to preview the Red Sox series in just a little bit. We did play his home run call of the Ryan O'Hearn tying blow the other night, Adam, and Sam rose to the occasion. Yeah, rose to the occasion. He came up big.
I was chatting with Sam the other day, and obviously I'm through the roof through the moon that he got the opportunity. Again, he got a couple games last year. I know obviously he's very focused. It's very important to him to one day become a Major League Baseball play-by-play announcer, and that's what his goal is. And he gets these kind of sporadic opportunities, but you can't control the types of calls that you have the opportunity to make based on when you're calling these games. And I told him, I go, you got to call a game where you had a game-tying 9th inning home run and then a go-ahead 9th inning RBI single in the 9th inning of the day. And so those are great opportunities, great moments for you to get to experience as a play-by-play broadcaster.
Don't disagree, Adam Klug. I will say this. I'm not, I do a lot of play-by-play stuff, and I've loved every bit of it. But doing some Padres stuff, spring training stuff with Jerry Coleman, way back when, and I don't even know how that all worked out and happened, but I know it did. And that was a memorable moment. So, just doing that was exciting. Being around the big league ball club, calling the game, man, that's great for Sam Levitt. And he did a really good job.
Don't let anybody forget you called a no-hitter at the college level.
Did I? I've never heard the last call of that. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Steven Strasburg.
Big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure he thinks about it often.
I just love how you always miss out on stuff. We had Steven Strasburg in studio. You were gone.
I was gone that day.
They went down and spoke to Manny Machado. You were gone that day.
Sorry.
Although, Tony missed JJ Spawn earlier this week, though, right?
Yeah, JJ was so good. Shot a 2-under, by the way, in the first round of the FedEx Cup yesterday in Memphis. JJ Spawn. Speaking of JJ, talked about him talking about his type 1 diabetes that he manages. Talked about Miles Bird of the Aztecs coming out talking about type 1 diabetes. Mason Miller, Padres closer, just acquired, talking to Scraby about that on an interview that they did the other day.
And if you missed that interview, it's available on demand on the Odyssey app or on our YouTube page.
Thank you very much, sir. The latest to come out and talk about this in a post today was the wife of Michael King. Saw the Instagram post. I shared it. I think it's so big and important to these, all of these people to be willing to share this stuff. So the rest of us understand we're not alone out there. There's other people that can manage it. And if they can, I can too. It's a big thing. And it's really good that all these athletes are, being a little more forthcoming with that kind of stuff. You don't have to be embarrassed about it. Because a lot of people are going through the same thing. And if you need help with something, make sure you can get that help. All right, I need help with the Daily Gambit for sure. So let's try to get to that, see what happens there.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in the Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Hi, Daily Gambit. Yeah, we call it our sports betting segment, but we don't bet on any of this stuff. We just have some fun picking the games, kind of keeping track of how we're doing. It's also our way of being able to let you know what's going on the scoreboard around sports and some of the events that are coming up. And I'll say it one last time. NFL preseason's underway. If you're laying a bet down on any of those games, check yourself into gambling rehab. Please do not bet on preseason football. I did see that Anthony Richardson got hurt already for the Colts.
Did you see his pinky?
Dislocated. I don't want to see it. No, I don't want to.
Pointing the wrong direction?
Well, that's the very definition, I guess, of dislocated. Anyway, a lot of players are playing in the preseason, though, this year. And more, interesting to me. It used to be just kind of sit out. All right, here we go with the Gambit. Padres minus 1.5 over the Bo Sox tonight. I am, by the way, 20-6 this week. I don't bring that up too often, Adam, but I've been on a hot streak. See if I can keep it going.
When you're hot, let everybody know.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't give you my record if I was 6-20, but I'm 20-6. I'm going to take the Red Sox plus the 1.5 tonight. I feel a 1-run game coming on. Padres, you know how many 1-run games the Padres have played this year, Adam Klug? It's incredible. They have played 40 1-run games. They've also played 21 2-run games. So way more than half of their games decided by the narrowest of margins. The good news for the Padres, they've won most of those games. 24 1-run victories, leads baseball. I'll say they win by 1 tonight. I'll take the Red Sox plus a 1.5. 8 runs is the over-under for tonight. Pavetta and Buehler, that's an under. Buehler always pitches good against the Padres. We already detailed that. Pavetta going to go 6 innings. That's his over-under number. You guaranteed 7, Adam Klug.
You threw an extra word in there I didn't say.
Guaranteed?
Pretty important word.
Oh, you didn't guarantee it?
I didn't guarantee it.
You're just hopeful? You're predicting
I predicted.
it. He's got to go 6 innings. It's been, I said it earlier, it's been 7 games in a row since a Padres starter has pitched into the 6th inning. They need him to do that. And also with the notion that King is pitching tomorrow, and you'll probably need quite a bit of bullpen tomorrow. All right, we're not allowed to bet on this stuff, but we can have some fun talking about it. The Lions are playing your Falcons this weekend. How do you do on preseason? You're a little bit of a crazier fan, I think, than I am. I watch you walk around here and watch games and root for teams, and you follow stuff. I think I follow stuff closely. You could probably name the backup outside linebacker for the Falcons. That's kind of what I think about you as a fan. You follow everything.
I don't know about the backup. I don't know the whole depth chart, but I'm very much into the NFL
involved.
and my Falcons.
Right. All right. So what do you think?
They just drive me crazy, by the way.
I would think. Yeah, it's a tough franchise to root for. So what do you do with preseason? Like, does it mean anything? Do you watch the game to see individual performances? Do you not even watch it? What do you do? Because all the games are on NFL Network. You can see them if you want to.
I won't watch.
You won't watch it at all.
I'll try and I will go out of my way and try and find the highlights of maybe the start of like Michael
Just the
Penix.
highlights.
I want
Okay.
to see
You
what
wanna see what
Penix
Penix
looks like.
looks
You know,
like.
you got a young
Okay.
stud quarterback. You want to see what he looks
Sure.
like. But during the regular season, I watch every snap.
Yeah, I know. I would think. I do too. But preseason, you could
But
care
no,
less.
I don't care. I'm not trying to see like, ooh, this up and coming third string defensive end. No, I'm not like that.
What if they lost 41-3 tonight in preseason
Wouldn't
game?
care.
Dolphins open with the Bears Sunday. To that end, did you see this story today? The Dolphins and Bears, like a lot of these teams do in preseason, they practiced together today ahead of their game. There were apparently 3 fights that broke out, the last of which was broken up by Superman himself, Mike McDaniel. Jumped in the middle of the fray. And
this is after Mike Vrabel did something similar and got all bloodied up, right?
Yeah, see, but Mike Vrabel is a big, tough former football
head
player.
coach of the
right,
Patriots.
Yes, but he's a former football player who could go in there and get bloodied. Mike McDaniel get broken in half in the middle of one of those piles, I would think, Be careful, Mike.
He takes his glasses off before he gets in the fracas.
I don't know. There was a Dolphin receiver named D. Eskridge who was involved in the fracas, carried out of the scrum to safety by that peacemaker himself, Tyreek Hill. All right.
I think Tyreek Hill injured his oblique. Am I wrong? Or strained it? Maybe.
Doing that or just in general?
I don't know about doing that, but just in general.
I don't know. He didn't practice today, so maybe that is confirms your belief on that. All right, Dodgers -1.5, Toronto. Toronto's the best record in the American League. I got to root for Toronto, so I will. Scherzer's pitching in that one. Buehler's also pitching against the Padres, while Kershaw pitches against Toronto. Who strikes out more batters tonight in their game? I hate to say Buehler, but he does well against the Padres. I'll give Buehler the nod over Kershaw. WNBA tonight, the best team in the league is the Minnesota Lynx. They're 25-5. Adam and I had a little discussion about this before the show. Is the WNBA, maybe they're not even responsible for it, is the media covering the WNBA blowing it for the league by only talking about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Beckers, and Sophie Cunningham every time she pushes and shoves somebody, instead of focusing on a team that is 25-5 but doesn't have any household names on the roster? I don't know what the WNBA wants to be thought of as, but I would think they'd want to be known for their really good basketball. I don't know that enough people are getting to see that. I mean, I know that ESPN is, doing a good job of covering the WNBA, but are they? Are they doing them a disservice by only talking about all this stuff on the side?
I guess it puts to test. Any news is good news. Any publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah, well, you would think. But meanwhile, this team's 25-5. I guarantee you the general sports fan can't tell you that. They're 10.5-point favorites over Washington tonight. I'll take Minnesota there. All right, those are the picks for today. Take a quick timeout. Still to come on the show, we have our countdown. And in that, we're going to discuss who really truly is the best team in Major League Baseball right now, and which teams do we believe in the most going forward. We'll get to that a little bit. Sam Levitt will join us to preview the Padres-Red Sox series. We got Chris versus the fans and a Big Five. It's all still to come on Gwynn and Chris. Traffic coming your way now.
All right, it's time for the Beaver Nuggets. So the story is, somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on. And he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the Beaver Nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name Beaver Nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth, but if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that.
No,
Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the beaver nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on, put me on, put me on." And so we put him on, and he's talking about how much he loves Buc-ee's. And so we got into the conversation, and it ended up being about the beaver nuggets. And so I had to order them because I find the name beaver nuggets very gross. I find it gross. But we're going to go with this. It's kind of like a Cheeto / a corn pop.
It's like a cheese doodle.
A cheese doodle. And we're going to eat them right now. I don't think these are bad, but here we go. I like it. It tastes like a corn pop.
I was going to say it tastes like a waffle, really.
It does kind of taste like a waffle. You know what? I'm in. These are good.
Yeah, I'm not.
You want another one?
No, I don't want another one. But yeah, I mean, it tastes like a waffle, like a waffle with syrup on it.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, I'm not hating these at all. Actually, they're very good. I like this. The waffle is a perfect explanation. If you've ever had, I'm sorry, I'm talking on the microphone with food in my mouth. But if you've ever had a what is it? A Lay's potato chip that's waffle flavor. It's kind of like that. Sad Fryer says, "Are they cheesy?" No, they're not cheesy at all. Actually, they're sweet.
No, it's like a hard waffle with syrup on it, with dried encrusted syrup on it.
Now I don't exactly know what the puff is. It could be just fake something.
Most likely. I mean,
it's like caramel a little bit too. All right, I gotta stop eating these because I will eat the whole bag. I love these things. I'm gonna leave them here though because I will eat this if I go home. It's just gonna be a bunch of beaver nuggets in my bed as I sleepwalk or something like that. All right, it's time for the beaver nuggets. So the story is somehow Buc-ee's got brought up. I think Frank brought it up.
Yes.
And it's a rest stop / mall / entertainment zone, super center. And someone said on the chat yesterday that they have like 100. They went to one with like 100 gas pumps, which is a lot, I guess. But while we were talking about this, Sam Levitt was in New York listening, and he goes, "Put me on." Gwynn and Chris rolls on 3:19 the time. Chris Ello. Adam Klug sitting alongside today. All right, couple things. Padres-Red Sox tonight. Sam Levitt will help us preview, joining us in a little bit. But one thing I was thinking about with the Red Sox, they've been playing really good baseball for a while now. They are only 4 games back themselves in their division of Toronto. Both the Red Sox and the Padres have won 9 of their last 11 games. So, it's a good matchup this weekend. A lot of fun.
Do you know when the Red Sox kind of hot streak started or coincided with?
It's funny because that's what I was going to bring up. And you didn't know that, so we're thinking along the same lines.
We've been on the same page on a lot of things today.
Yeah. June 15th
the morning of June 15th, the Red Sox had a record of 36-36. That day, they traded Rafael Devers to the Giants. Since that time, the Red Sox record is 28-16, one of the best in baseball. Also, since that day, the Giants are 17-27, one of the worst in baseball.
I take great pleasure in this, by the way.
I don't disagree with this. Rafael Devers, who everybody stuck up for at the beginning, when they said, well, you know what, the Red Sox didn't handle this right. They should have gone to him. They should have asked his opinion. Rafael Devers has turned into a guy that I think it's pretty hard to root for. And my whole thing changed with this guy when he got to the Giants. And apparently they set him up to work out with Will Clark, Giants legend, first baseman. And of course, Devers, with his adverse, not wanting to do that. But Will Clark said, let's work. We'll go over some things. Devers did not show up. He didn't call. He didn't say, I can't make it. He just didn't come. Will Clark stood there and waited. This happened, according to Will Clark, 3 times. Now, I don't know how – I can't root for a guy like this. Can you? And so I'm so happy to see all of this happen. Now, is it Devers' fault that the Giants are doing bad and the Red Sox are doing good? I don't know. But it seems like
it's poetic is what it is.
It's either poetic justice or it's a hell of a coincidence, right? The Red Sox seem like they are just, so happy to be rid of this guy. And I don't know how happy the Giants are to have him.
It's something that, like I said, I take pleasure in because we got into a lot of off-the-air arguments, discussions, debates, however you want to phrase it, a lot over text with all the producers and talent here. And I was adamantly outspoken about how disgusted I was with Rafael Devers and not being a team player, not being a winning player, and making such a big deal out of a position change when it's like, you see people, Jake Cronenworth, for example, play where you're supposed to play, right? And like the idea that, man, we pay you $30 million a year, you'll do what we tell you to do. And if someone paid me that much money, I would do whatever they asked me to. You want me to go clean the bathrooms? I'll go clean the bathrooms. You pay me 30. That's my point. And
can you read that? I'm asking if you have that.
I'll grab that for you.
Can you have it? Okay.
And
go
so
ahead, finish your thought.
So like I was the one who, like, a lot of people were like, well, the Red Sox treated it poor, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, the Red Sox are not blameless, but that's not what
if your team asks you to go play first base, you ought to at least give it a shot.
Go over there, and nobody expects you to be a Gold Glover. What we expect from you is to go over there and give it your hardest try. Be a team player. And if I were another player in that clubhouse, I wouldn't have been very happy about it either.
Well, the Red Sox, finally parted company with him, and it seems like addition by subtraction for the Red Sox. I mean, they've been a really good team. Devers has hit 5 home runs, 225 batting average, while the Giants have fallen apart since he's been there. I bring this up because how much of off-the-field stuff really matters. We're in a different – I think we're in a different time, Adam. What you said is the way I think, and I think the way everybody used to think. Coach said, run through that fence. You tried to run through the fence. Nowadays, somebody says, run through the fence. The athlete goes, why should I do that? There's just a different mindset. Okay. So where does it start? Where does it end? And I don't want to compare Devers to my guy, Juan Soto. But Juan Soto, to me, is an off-field distraction. I believe he's a diva. I believe he's about himself. And I don't know that it doesn't rub some of his teammates the wrong way. On the other side, he's so good. He's won a World Series, and he was in a World Series last year with the Yankees. And who knows what he'll be able to do with the Mets this year. But I'm not alone. After he hit the home run to break up the no-hitter the other day in New York, he kind of laughed and smiled his way around the bases. Some people did not take too kindly to that. One of them was New York radio personality and national radio guy, Boomer Esiason. I wanted to hear what Boomer had to say, just so I know I'm not alone.
This team, and it's embarrassing. No, I don't care what anybody says, getting one hit. And quite frankly, there was a chance yesterday that when Juan Soto hit that ball, that he might have been thrown out at first base if it doesn't go out of the building. Because he's loafing out of the box. Now, I don't expect him to sprint to first base in a situation like this, but he watched the whole thing and
it gets out by literally a foot.
And it's back in. And you know what? This to me is like a real, and he's got a nice smile on his face, like he's laughing. I'm sick of it. I want to see attitude. I want to see, when the Mets had Gary Carter, they had Ray Knight, they had, they had guys that would fight. They would go on losing streaks too, like every baseball team does. But I don't ever, and maybe I'm forgetting things, but there were times where these guys would be fighting each other.
Well, Boomer Esiason's real first name is Norman. Thumbs up to you, Norman, on that one. I don't agree with a lot of Boomer Esiason stuff, to be honest with you. He and I kind of don't see eye to eye, but it's a former athlete, played in a little different era, but he's seeing a lot of the same stuff that I think, us get off the lawn guys are seeing. I will tell you straight up, if you're a Juan Soto fanatic and you're mad at me for bringing this up, fine. I see Manny Machado jog very slowly to first base on fly balls. One day one's going to fall in, and he's going to be standing there halfway between home and first. I love Manny Machado. I don't like that. Now, do I want him to sprint as hard as he can and maybe pull a muscle? No. But Fernando does pretty much the same thing. It's the way they do it now. I have to accept that. I don't have to like it, though.
Would you like to hear a personal story experience I have with Boomer Esiason of why I think he's a really good dude?
Okay, sure.
Former NFL MVP.
Right.
Host of the top-rated, number one rated show, not sports show in the number one market in America. He's the morning show host on WFAN in New York.
Is he currently
massive show?
Still?
Yes.
Okay.
Huge, massive media celebrity and star, on the NFL and CBS was up until this past year. When I was producing nationally for CBS with Doug Gottlieb, we started off doing the show in Orange County, and after a couple of years, they moved us to New York to simulcast the radio show on TV on CBS Sports Network. So they moved us to New York. CBS Sports Radio, which is now Infinity Sports Network, shares an office, shares a building with WFAN in New York.
Was that where we broadcast, by the way, when Tony
you guys
and
went to
I and
Cooperstown?
Stravy went? Yeah, when we went. So we got into there. Okay,
correct.
That was good.
So the former afternoon host, who you've probably heard of, and most people who follow the industry know, is Mike Francesa, one of the biggest, a titan of our industry.
Yeah.
But he is known for having a big ego. And I experienced and witnessed many blow-ups he had.
Okay.
So when I got up there with Doug, I went into a thing where Francesa had brought John Calipari in studio. I guess they have a relationship. And after Francesa finished his interview with John Calipari, who was coaching Kentucky, I asked Coach Cal if he had time to join Doug Gottlieb for a couple of minutes. He said no, he was in a hurry, went out. That was the end of it, I thought. Francesa dressed me down for trying to speak to his guest. That's my guest. You're not allowed to book my... He brought his here because of me.
Yeah.
The next morning, word like that, little gossip around the office travels. And so the morning show heard about it with Boomer Esiason. Boomer Esiason went out of his way. He emailed me directly. Again, former NFL MVP, big star, emails me. I'd never met him in person. Emails me, Adam, I heard about what happened. Just wanted to let you know, don't worry about it. Forget what Mike Francesa said to you. The rest of us are all really happy to have you and Doug here in New York now. And if you ever need anything from any of us here, don't hesitate to ask. And I thought that was a really stand-up thing to do.
Goes a long way, right? Those are the kind of things that only you see that mean a lot. Kind of like when Tony told us about playing for Ryne Sandberg when Sandberg was the manager of the Phillies and going through that time because it was a time when Tony's dad passed and that Ryne Sandberg, took him under his wing and helped him through that time as he was playing, Major League Baseball. Only Tony Gwynn Jr. knew that story, but that's why people like Ryan Sandberg were so well respected. Good story about Boomer Esiason. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, preview the weekend with Sam Levitt. Red Sox are in town. I love Mediterranean food. If you do too, try Spiro's. Authentic Mediterranean cuisine. Coronado, La Jolla. Also, right there at Petco Park, if you're going to the game tonight for dining or takeout options, spiroscuisine.com. Chris Ello and the gang here. Today consisting of Adam Klug on Gwynn and Chris. 3:36 is the time. And, of course, the Padres taking on the Bo Sox tonight. I do have one quick baseball note that I found interesting. Colorado Rockies debuting third baseman Kyle Karros tonight, son of Eric Karros. Did not know that Eric Karros' son was trying to work his way into the big leagues. He'll get his opportunity tonight in Arizona for the Rocks. The Rockies have a new first baseman who's actually hit pretty well here the first week and a half. Have you seen this guy's name at all, Adam?
Yeah,
Warming Bernabel. I've heard of a lot of new, crazy names out there. Haven't heard the name Warming. Yeah, like warm. Warming. Anyway, those things interest me. Maybe nobody else. Sam Levitt interests me. He's down at Petco Park, and he's going to help us preview the series between the Padres and the Red Sox. But first, we're going to check a little traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. 76 eastbound at Camino del Rey. You do have an accident off on the shoulder. Road work really slowing you down southbound on the 15 as you approach South Century Parkway. You got 2 right lanes closed. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottles at the spring source. I'm Sue Adler with Gwen and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Adam Klug alongside Sam Levitt down at Petco Park. Gwynn and Chris show. Sam, first of all, great job calling the games this week in Arizona. You're hired. You took 2 out of 3. We'll give you another opportunity.
Yeah, that's what matters most. The results on the field.
We don't really care.
Record.
Right. We don't really care if you had a good time or you did a good job, just whether or not you won the games. Yeah, and we played your home run call of the Ryan O'Hearn, and I got to tell you, man, you rose to the occasion on that one. Well done.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I mean, we're down.
Great moment.
We're down and out, man. 2-1, 9th inning.
Yeah.
We got to have something there. Sam, look, the Padres are getting everybody maybe too excited. Maybe I'm overdoing it here. I think this team, has to start, they got to play every game and do what they got to do. But me as a fan, I'm now kind of the mindset with the way things are set up after this trade deadline that, winning this division has got to be what, the goal here. Do you feel like that's changed, since the trade deadline and that you're 2 games back, right?
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I mean, it's attainable. It really is. And when you consider that they still have a number of games remaining against the Dodgers, they've made up so much ground in just more than a month. I mean, it's amazing. They were 9 games out of first place a little bit more than a month ago, and they wake up this morning 2 games out of first place. And I think it's for a few reasons. You can look at that as a realistic possibility. Number 1, the fact that they're only 2 games out. Number 2, that you're going to have some cracks against the Dodgers here coming up. And also, this is now a very, very complete team and a very, very talented team. Not that it wasn't before, but it's complete in a way that it just wasn't before the trade deadline. And to see those guys show up and contribute as much as they have already, I think puts a really good taste in your mouth as far as what this team can be, as far as what this roster can be. So Chris, I'm with you. I think they have a real chance to win this division. I think they have a real chance to make this a similar second half to what they did last year, but they've got to keep playing the way they're playing, and it's going to be exciting. I'm right there with you. I think the division right now should be the goal. They're going to have to play well. They're going to have to play well head-to-head against the Dodgers, which, those games are always intense, and the Dodgers are obviously a great team in their own right. So it's going to be tough, but do I think they're capable of it? I do.
For sure. Game 1 of the Red Sox series is tonight. And, let me ask you about two things on the Padres, and I want to go to the Red Sox a little bit so we can get ready for them. The bottom of the order has been the bugaboo of this team all year long. The OPS, I think, was 550 through the end of July. And now since the trade deadline, it's 875, Sam. It's 300 points higher. All of a sudden, the bottom of the order has become a strength of this team. How big is this, hopefully, moving forward?
It's enormous. I mean, look at the lineup tonight. Now, Diaz is in the lineup, so let's just put Fermin in the conversation in that 9 spot where he's been when he's been in there.
Yeah.
Laureano, Cronenworth, Diaz are your 7, 8, 9 tonight. So, again, let's imagine Fermin is in the number 9 spot instead. I mean, that is a really, really dangerous and productive bottom third of your lineup. Laureano is beyond productive. How good has he been? And by the way, this isn't a case of a guy in Laureano just showing up and getting hot. He's been swinging this way really all year, and especially as of late, going back to his time with the Orioles. So what he continues to do is outstanding. I mean, he plays good defense out there and left. He made a great throw the other night that was a part in that win on Wednesday. We know what Cronenworth can do. And obviously, Freddie Fermin, I'll tell you what, Chris, you talk to people around that clubhouse and around this team, the reviews for Freddie Fermin are glowing. And I know it was a high price they gave up in Berger and Kolek and some real pitching depth they gave up. But I do think there's a real possibility they found the gem in Freddie Fermin, what he can do offensively, what he can do behind the plate, learning under a future Hall of Famer in Salvador Perez. And I heard it from Royals people when the trade was made. I mean, they loved that guy, and it just seemed like a situation where he was sitting behind Salvi and just was not going to be the guy in Kansas City, but he would have been had Salvi not been there. So the reviews for him are great, and you put all that together from an offensive standpoint, having Laureano, Cronenworth, and Fermin down there on most days, if that's the way it kind of pans out lineup construction-wise, it's night and day from where they were just a little bit more than a week ago. There's no doubt about that.
Sammy Levitt is down at Petco, Padres and Red Sox tonight. Sam, I'm going to ask a question that I've enjoyed kind of discussing the last 2 days with Adam, with Scraby, with Tony, with everybody I've talked to. And AC wrote the article, so I'm sure you read a lot of it yesterday about Fernando. Yeah. And, the fact that he's making more contact and walking, but not hitting with the same slug and power. Do you like the new and improved Fernando, or do you miss the old Fernando?
I would prefer the old Fernando. I think.
Okay,
now,
me too.
Now,
you and I are in the same boat here, actually.
On base percentage is good. Walks are good. He already has set a career high in walks, so it's going to be a much, much higher number walk-wise than he's ever had in his career, which is good. Not a bad thing. But when I think about Fernando Tatis Jr., I think about somebody who's hitting home runs and driving to the baseball and producing runs. And to me, that is the most dynamic version of Fernando Tatis Jr. from an offensive standpoint. I mean, look, you can slice it any way you want. He has 2 home runs in his last 36 games. And this is not the first, real home run drought of this season for him. The good news here tonight is, number one, he's coming off 2 off days, but he also has really good career numbers, including 5 home runs against Walker Buehler. So hopefully that gets him going tonight. But to me, I still would love to see Fernando, be that slugger, be the guy that we saw in 2021, 40-plus home runs, driving the ball all over the place. It's in there for him, and we've seen it in bursts this year. I prefer that guy. Look, I understand he's getting pitched a little bit differently. He talked about it to me the other day about getting pitched, backwards, and he's it seems like reacting to how he's being pitched more so than anything, and taking what the pitchers are giving him rather than expanding his zone. And that's okay. And maybe in the long run, he's going to be better for it. But I do think, the prime version of Fernando that you want is the guy who's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark and hit the ball in the gap and slug, OPS, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I miss that guy too. I miss that guy too. So
you hope that's in there the rest of the year.
We'll see what we get moving forward. Okay, the Red Sox are here now. We're not going to see Rafael Devers though until next week in San Francisco. The trade that they made, whether it was just coincidence or not, has turned around the Red Sox season, and it's kind of wrecked the Giants season. Boston's playing great ball. A little addition by subtraction. Is that how you look at it? Is that how the Red Sox have been looking at it?
I'm not around them enough to know about the Devers part of it, right? Clearly, Craig Breslow, their president of baseball operations, he came out and said shortly after that trade, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially that, he thought that they could be a better team this year without Devers, which at the time sounded crazy. Of course, they have been. But I don't know how much I put it on. Again, I'm not around them, but I don't know how much I put it on addition by subtraction. I put it more on the fact that they're a good team and they've got a good lineup and they've got some really great young players. Duran's played great. Roman Anthony's been terrific. Their pitching has been really, really good. Crochet is awesome. You look at the two guys they'll throw tomorrow and Sunday in Giolito and Bayo have been terrific. So they're pitching well. They've got young core players that are playing really well, and to me, that's the reason they've played so well. Again, Devers is a pretty darn good player, so I wouldn't put it on that. But look, to Craig Breslow's credit and to the Red Sox front office credit, they turned things around, and it did coincide with that trade happening. So take that for what you will, but they're no doubt a really good team and an interesting team and a team that could go on their own run. We talk about winning divisions and catch the Blue Jays. Certainly, they're only 4 games back entering today. So it's a big series. It's a really interesting series, and the Padres would be well served to maybe take 2 out of 3 here at the very least and, make a little statement this weekend here at home.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that the Dodgers are going to lose 2 out of 3. So we sweep. We'll be tied for first place Monday, Sam. You book it. Red Sox, you mentioned Crochet. Mm-hmm. Padres have been a little lucky this year. I don't have the official stat on this, but we've missed some aces this year, right?
Way. Yeah,
doesn't it? Way. So, I'm not my feelings aren't hurt, but at the same time, Walker Buehler has been a killer for the Padres. Sam, 6-1. With an 0.89 whip in his career. Now, not quite as good at Petco Park, but they have he's done some pretty good pitching against the Padres. I hope that we get this year's version of Walker Buehler, not that version.
Yeah, I think there are 2 things you hope to hang your hat on against Buehler today. Number one, to your point, he's not been good this year. 7.13 ERA in his last 11 starts, and he's walked a ton. I mean, he's almost walked as many as he struck out in that 11-start span. The other thing is he's been great against the Padres in the course of the regular season. As we know, and it really was kind of the final good thing that happened in that NLDS, was that the Padres hit him hard, including Fernando in Game 3 of that series against the Dodgers. Of course, that kind of ended up being the final positive in that series for the Padres.
I know.
But they did hit him hard, and this has been a guy that has not been great this year, no doubt about that. And like I said, they've got Giolito and Bayo, who have been good, waiting for them tomorrow and Sunday. So look, this does feel like a guy they should be able to score some runs against today. We know even with how well they've played, that's easier, said than done. We saw them struggle against some of those Diamondbacks guys too. But, he is not being good, which should hopefully be a good thing for the Padres entering tonight.
Nick Pavetta's pitching. He said in the paper today, I'm sure you saw it, that every game to him, he does treat like life or death. I like that. I want a guy that's out there. Now he's also facing his former team. So what are we going to get? Give me a prediction for Pavetta's dog and tiger attitude tonight.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it takes much more to get Nick fired up. Because he's kind of like that all the time.
Yeah, okay.
And on the mound, and so we know he's an intense competitor. He wears it on his sleeve. We I think all understand that watching him. Look, Nick Pavetta's just got to keep doing what he's doing. I mean, whatever this guy is doing in prep, in execution, and what he's eating before the game, you just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, the numbers are terrific. He's got a 1.01 ERA in his last 7 starts. That's a span of nearly 45 innings. He has been so good. He's another story for the Padres where they bring somebody over who's kind of, maybe more middle of the road kind of guy and develop him into something really, really great. We've seen this now with Ruben Niebla and this coaching staff, and Pavetta's doing it. So he's been so good. And to me, I don't worry about, it was asked to Mike Schultz during the press conference, something along the lines of, Pavetta facing his former team and being amped up for that. I really don't worry about it with Nick Pavetta because he kind of runs that way anyway. So I'm sure he will be ready to go. And I think for Pavetta, you just keep doing what you're doing because Nick Pavetta has been pretty excellent so far, and he's been such a great addition to this team.
Since Pavetta last pitched, 5 games, no starter has made it past the 5th inning in any of those 5. Schilt has done an incredible job. I was just figuring this out. He has not overused any of these relievers, but he's really had to rely on this bullpen. Can that hold up, Sam, for another 2 months? Are going to need to start needing some more 7-inning games?
Yeah, Chris, I think it's a really good question. And for as deep as this bullpen is, and my goodness, it's really deep. And you look at the big 5, and then David Morgan, who's been excellent. I mean, we keep focusing on the 5 guys. I'm somewhat tempted to put Morgan in there and make it a 6 something, and some kind of nickname with 6 because he's been excellent. But you do, I think, put him just a tad below on the pecking order of those other 5. I think 2 things can be true at once. They're a really deep bullpen. It gives them terrific optionality. I just talked with Jason Adam about this earlier today. We'll play it on the pregame show because he came in the 5th inning the other night, which is, imagine saying that 2 weeks ago, that Jason Adams coming in the 5th inning in a big spot. Well, they can do that because of what they've done with this bullpen and the fact that they have so much versatility and optionality with these guys. So I think they can be aggressive, but to your point, you still got to be careful. This bullpen is going to be so vital for them down the stretch and for what they want to do in October, that you've got to make sure you get to the finish line with these guys healthy and effective. And we know even with the best of bullpens, there's volatility and you don't want to run these guys into the ground. So I think it's a mix of both things, Chris. I think depth from the starters would go a long way. I do think, like they did on Wednesday, they're going to have the ability to chase wins. They were trailing in that game, and they chased it, and it worked out. Right. But yes, starters going deep can only be a good thing, even though you have Miller now. I mean, that was a concern before the trade deadline, right? The fact that all these guys are used so much. To me, that is still a concern. And to Mike Schultz's credit, publicly, he said that a handful of times the last week or so, making that clear. So they are going to need more depth, but when they want to chase it and when they got those guys available, they have a lead. I think you're going to see a lot of the time they're going to say, hey, go get them.
Sam Levitt, if anybody's watching on the YouTube, and I know people are, but if you're not, he's wearing his lucky jacket tonight. I love that one. That's the one he brought out for the Dodgers series a couple of years ago, people. He loves that one, the little plaid blue. That's a winner, Sam.
Thanks.
It's a winner tonight.
Thank you.
All right, good job on great job again this week. Really, fun,
Thank you.
and
I
you were on
appreciate
it. And we'll see you on the pregame tonight.
All right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
There's Sam Levitt, more Gwynn and Chris coming up. A little Chris versus the fans is next. 833-288-0973 trivia. You could be on your way to Las Vegas. We're looking at the Michael King bobblehead. King will be on the mound tomorrow, returning to action. He will also be the subject of the bobblehead giveaway coming up on Wednesday, August the 20th. Now, the Padres got the Red Sox this week. Next weekend, they go to San Francisco and L.A. Then the following week, both those teams come here. And in the Wednesday, August 20th game against the Giants, they'll be giving away the Michael King bobblehead presented by Cox. As you see, features Michael King with the crown, the LeMay cape, which was confirmed by listeners that I was correct on that. So make sure you were there on August the 20th. The giveaway limited to the first 40,000 fans in attendance. First pitch, 6:40 p.m. Gates open 90 minutes before. So I would arrive early. Make sure you don't get left out. For more information, visit Padres.com/giveaways. I would think the crowd's going to be pretty good this weekend. See the Bo Sox. I mean, even if it was the Royals or something, the excitement for the Padres is there right now. Boston just heightens it a little bit more. Thanks to Sam Levitt. Real quick, and then we're going to get to Chris versus the fans. I broke this down. Last 5 games since Pavetta pitched last Friday night. Pavetta shut down the Cardinals, went 7 innings. But since then, 5 games Padres have played. Starters have pitched 22 and 2/3 innings. Relievers 23 1/3. So the Padres have had more outs from relief pitchers than they have starters in the last 5 games. However, having said that, you look at the breakdown, Mike Schilt, I think, is doing pretty good here. Estrada, 3 games. Morejon, 3. Jason Adams been in 3. David Morgan, 3. Wandy Peralta, 3. And then 2 each for Mason Miller, Robert Suarez, and Matsui. So he's doing a good job of spreading it around, but I think it's a concern. How long can this bullpen hold up having to go, 5 innings almost every night? Hopefully Pavetta makes that a moot point this evening. Sam's got the pregame show at 5:40. The game's at 6:40. Right now it's our game, and we call it Chris versus the Fans.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Chris versus the Fans, chance to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas. And Scraby has the wrong read in the rundown. So
catching strays on his day off?
Yeah, he's going to catch a stray even on his day off because he didn't change the wording of the rundown. So I don't have all the ins and outs. I know it's something in Las Vegas, and I'm sorry about that, but he doesn't have the right. It's not his fault. It changed right at the beginning of the month. So I think our listeners are going to have to trust the fact that they'll be in the drawing to go to Las Vegas. Adam, are you probably looking for something right now? But I don't have it.
No, I'm saying I'm pulling it up. I'll have it.
Oh, you do have it.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'll have it.
All right, live radio. These
no fair
kinds
for
of things can happen.
to do that. We're going. If you win today, if you beat Chris, take him down, you will qualify for a grand prize, which is a 2-night stay at Resorts World Las Vegas, plus a VIP admission to AYU Day Club and a $175 food and beverage credit. Celebrate summer with a 2-night stay at Resort World Las Vegas. Dine poolside at one of the 5 unique pool experiences in the 5.5 acres pool complex, the largest elevated pool deck on the Las Vegas Strip, and experience AU Day Club, a stunning oasis inspired by the idyllic islands of Southeast Asia, where the ultimate party concepts transform the weekend into a never-ending summer. Special summer rates available now at rwlasvegas.com.
Better you reading all of that than
I'm
me.
sure you do that whole read every day, right?
We have been doing it every day. All right, rules, you know how it works. 3 questions. They get a little harder as we go along. You get it right, you move on to the next question. If you get it wrong, then I can knock you out of the game by getting it correct myself.
And I'll try not to have the music too loud, as was pointed out to me last week.
Yes, you were playing loud music last time. People are a little picky out there, Adam, I got to tell you. So you're just a victim of that. All right, let's go. Let's get the ball rolling. I'll let you choose.
All right, we got Neil in San Carlos.
Right on the top of the board, Neil. How are you, man?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Good. Welcome to it. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now you're like playing it really soft, the music.
All right, Neil. Joe Musgrove and Josh Bell were teammates with the Padres. And what other team?
What was the question again? Joe Musgrove and who? I'm sorry?
Josh Bell. Teammates on the Padres and what other team?
Josh Bell and Joe Musgrove. They played together. Where else, Neil?
Say it one more time?
Yeah, he broke up, but I think he said the right answer. Pirates, yeah. I think he got it.
Nice job.
Good job. All right. On we go. What?
Jim Harbaugh has coached 3 teams in his career in college, at the college level. Michigan, and what other 2 schools? Name the 2 universities Jim Harbaugh coached besides Michigan.
I don't know, and I don't want to give Chris any extra guesses.
Smart strategy. But Chris is going to get this one.
Stanford and University of San Diego. Sorry about that, Neil.
All right.
He's done great at every place he's been, whether you're a Harbaugh fan or not, and he's a little polarizing. But
I respect the hustle there. I respect not giving you one of the answers there, even though you were going to get
I do
it.
too. I like that, guys. A lot of players do that.
All right, let's go to Thomas in San Diego.
Hello, fellas.
Hello, Thomas. Good luck. Play ball.
Thank you.
Thomas, what team traded you Darvish to the Padres?
He came from the Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs.
That's a tougher question than it looks because Darvish has played for a few different teams. Good job.
A couple of them.
Question
You're
number
on
2.
it, Thomas. Nice job.
Who has scored the most goals for SDFC this season?
Oh, we're going soccer.
Is it Chucky?
Chucky
Lozano.
Chucky.
Wow. Unfortunately, it's not. And
This is
that's going to eliminate a response for Chris as well.
No, but I don't. It's down to 2 people, and it wasn't Chucky. It's either Dreyer or Alosky. Alosky scored so many while he was here. I think it's Dreyer, though. Sorry about that, Thomas. I pulled it out. Alosky.
As you tend to do.
Sometimes.
Let's go to John in Temecula.
Hey, Johnny.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Friday.
We need to change the wording on him. He needs to be John from Murrieta. He actually moved to Murrieta, and we never changed it. So we got to take care of this.
John and Murrieta.
Yeah, John. Well, John's, for lack of a better term, I'll use with the morning. He's a tier 1 listener to the show.
All right. Love it.
So we should at least give him the proper introduction. John from Murrieta.
Put some respect on that name.
Darn right.
Well, Braden put me in as John in Temecula in 2019. I called in from a pub in Temecula.
See?
So that's what showed up. And so, but Braden did a good job. I was John in Temecula. I've lived in Murrieta for since 97. I've been there forever. Anyway.
Not to go off on too much of a tangent, but at this point, the industry has evolved to a point where it's not always where you're calling from, but it's kind of an identifier. You become a character on the show.
Exactly.
You are John in Temecula.
He needs to be identified
even if you no longer
correctly.
live in Temecula.
Yes, I get that. So last time I called in and smoked Scraby on Chris's fantabulous sports game show, and that got brought up. So anyway,
All
it's
right.
cool.
Well,
Either way.
Let's see how you do today. Okay, this is an E. This is a round 1 question. Who is the head coach of the LA Rams?
Yeah, it is an easy one. Except I'm looking at his face. I know, right? I'm looking at his face. I'm driving, by the way. I'm not stalling for Google. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. I know who
the
it is.
ladies probably like looking at his face.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and his beautiful little beard and his perfectly, product hair.
I'm confident
And
enough to say that. All right, you got to give us a guess here.
I know you got to buzz me. I can't come up with it.
Yeah, come on.
Stupid.
Not too bad, John.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if nothing else, John, you got your name changed to John from Murrieta next time, but it is Sean McVay is the name you were dying to find.
Of course it was.
Have a great weekend.
Oh, well.
Have a great weekend, John. Thanks so much. As always, on you go.
Man, Sean McVay.
Things happen like that. That's not a
Stage
John
fright.
thing. It's not stage fright. He's been on 1,000,000 times, but people, you can forget stuff. No, you maybe not, but
Let's go to Andy
normal people
in Rancho Penasquitos, where
Hi,
David
Andy.
Morgan was born.
Yes, that's right.
How's it going, everybody?
Very good, Andy. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, you're welcome.
All
Got to do the
right.
game, so let's have a good one.
All right, here we go.
Good deal.
Which team has the most wins in the majors this season? Most wins in baseball.
The Brewers.
Crew. 70 wins.
The
for
Crew.
them. Yeah. Speaking of that, they have the best record. Are they the best team? We'll have our countdown shortly.
I like that tease.
You're welcome.
Here we go. Who was the head coach that led the Chargers to their only Super Bowl appearance?
Fair question. It's a while ago, though.
Ooh. Yeah. It's pretty bad. I've eliminated the Chargers for my brain.
Nothing wrong with doing that,
You know
Andy.
what? For that response,
You win.
for that
Yes.
response,
We're sending you straight to Las Vegas.
at least give him around 3.
No, he can't have
Oh,
it.
come on.
I'm not giving it to him, Adam. Sorry. He's got to come up with a coach.
If it were up to me, I'd give it to you.
Well, it's not up to you. Super Bowl
That's
coach.
fair.
It was.
No.
Too bad.
94.
I know. How old were you there that year, Andy?
I was 2.
You were
born in 92.
2. You should remember the name Bobby Ross in your crib.
Okay.
All
I wouldn't have gotten it, so I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Have a great
Thanks
weekend.
for playing, Andy.
Do we want to go to a tiebreaker here?
Yeah, well, let's go tiebreaker since we're running out of time.
You've been teasing our countdown.
Yes,
so
we got to
hard.
do a
We got to leave
countdown.
plenty of room for it. You want to go to Ron and Del Cerro?
Okay, Ron, we got to come up with a player. How about Alex Bregman? Look him up and then come up with a statistic for him, Adam.
Alex Bregman.
Coming to town tonight with the Red Sox. Third baseman. And we got Ray. Is it Ray on the line or Ron? Ron. Hey, Ron.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good. You know the tiebreaker rules?
Yeah, I have to go under or over your guess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So Adam will give you a category. I'll
talked-
guess the answer.
We
Go.
talked earlier in the show about Fernando Tatis and his plate discipline, correct?
Oh, my God. What are you giving me for
Alex Bregman, notoriously, is a very, very strong plate discipline.
Okay.
Career 366 on base percentage.
Okay.
I'll give you a number, and you'll go over or under his total career number in walks.
Total walks.
Total career number in walks.
You're going to give the number. That's fine.
Or do you want to give it?
Normally, I take a guess at
Go for it.
That's
Go
kind
for
of
it.
how it works.
You're
but-
right. Go for it.
Thank you, Adam. Thanks you for telling me I'm right.
Don't want to step on anybody's
He's
toes
played
here.
10 years. He's got to have 700 walks, 70 a year. Is it over or under? Higher or lower? Actual number.
I'm going to go under.
Under?
He's going under.
He got it. Very good. What was the number?
Number is 603 walks.
Okay. So
had
good for you.
119 in 2019. Hold on the line for us, okay, Ron?
Stick around, Ron. You got the chance to go to Las Vegas. We will tell you who the 5 best teams in baseball are in our countdown when we return after traffic.
From the 855 Gambit.
Las Vegas trip. Today's Chris versus the fans. Coming up, our Big Five, which will be put together by Adam Klug. Before we get to that, though, a countdown for you. It is Friday. I think you're going to like this one out there. See how it goes.
It's now time for Gwynn and Chris to rank their top 5 of the day.
Gonna grip and rip as usual.
But this isn't just a regular top 5 list.
I love it. It sounds sadistic, but I love it.
This is the countdown. And it starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Now, here's the deal. And I thought this would be an interesting thing to count down because I like Adam's opinion on this stuff. I usually like my own opinion on this stuff. So here we are. The trade deadline is over. And now we kind of know what the teams have going forward down the stretch. Baseball. Who truly are the best 5 teams in baseball right now in our minds? And I think it's interesting because the record says that the Brewers are the best, says Toronto's the second best, says the Cubs are third, Dodgers and Phillies, Tigers are there. But who really is the best? I mean, after all, 12 teams are within 9 games of the best record. So it's going to be close. That's our countdown today. Top 5 teams in baseball, our own personal power rankings. I'm curious to see who we have.
I told you this before the show. I went a little off script and put my own twist on it. This is not my current power rankings.
Right, not based on 104. You're not basing yours on 115 games.
This is who I basically think are World Series
You're
contenders.
saying going forward, who you think
best chances to make and win the World Series.
All right, I'm doing the same thing.
There we
My
go.
rankings are not based on the current record.
So these are World Series contenders. Power rankings.
Just the things that the team that I think are the best 5 teams moving forward. That's
Okay,
my
fair
ranking. All right,
Number 5.
I'll let you go first. Who do you have number 5?
I put a premium. I put an emphasis in my top 5 list on pitching.
All right.
I have teams with strong starting rotations.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Houston Astros at number 5.
Astros number 5, you say.
Experience. Trade away Kyle Tucker. Doesn't seem to matter. Hunter Brown has emerged as an ace.
Okay.
Framber Valdez.
Okay.
Give me the Astros number 5.
5th best team in baseball, you think is the Astros. Currently, they have the 7th best record.
7th best record. I like them more than their record, you could say.
Right. And they have the exact same record right now as do the Padres. One thing about the Astros, they're going to get Yordan Alvarez back at some point.
Correct.
That's a pretty good addition to the lineup.
That is correct.
My number 5 going forward is the Milwaukee Brewers. I got to at least give them that much respect. They got the best record in the league by 3 games. Their run differential is 127, which is the best in baseball by 12 runs. I got to at least respect them enough to put them in my top 5. I thought about leaving them out entirely, though. That is how little I am overall concerned about the Brewers. But I at least had to get them in. They're number 5. I'm curious whether you'll get them in.
Do you want to make a prediction as to whether or not they're my top 5 or not?
I'm going to predict no.
Number 4.
Now, do you go first this time, or do I keep going
No, you
first?
keep going first. Number 4 for you.
Hunter Brown, who I was just hyping up, is pitching to Aaron Judge as we speak. Astros
Okay.
lead 2-0.
All right.
Number 4 on my list, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, so they are on your list.
Most wins in baseball.
Surprise.
70-44. And they're one of those teams, it's like, you see it every year in different sports, right? Like, how do those guys keep winning? Well, they just keep winning. And they do have a strong rotation, and Mizorowski has been awesome.
They can
They've got
put
Freddie
a good
Peralta.
They can put a good rotation out to you in the playoffs. Peralta, Mizorowski,
Quinn Priester.
Woodruff, Priester. I'm not as concerned about their bullpen. If you can get to that. But the Brew Crew deserve at least
Abner
a mention.
Uribe has been good in the bullpen, as has McGill. I'll give them the respect of putting them 4th on my list.
All right, well, I'd put them 5th.
We're leaving some pretty good teams out, just so you know.
Well, we have to. Can only name 5.
Number 4 for you.
I'm going with the best bullpen in the American League. The team that I think, if everybody is healthy and it comes down to a battle of bullpens to see who goes to the World Series, I believe that team is the Yankees.
Oh, come on.
The Yankees.
They're a dumpster fire.
Okay. Well, I know you don't care for them. They have fallen badly in the standings because Aaron Judge has not been in the lineup. He is now back. The Yankees are also plus 88 run differential, third best in all of baseball. And if it comes down to bullpens, I'll take Bednar, Doval, Luke Weaver, and even the struggling Devin Williams over any other bullpen in the American League. You check them out. You let me know what bullpen you think is better than theirs. Yankees, number 4 for me.
Number 3.
There is an American League team, in my opinion, that does have a better bullpen.
Who?
They're number 2 on my list.
All right, well, you'll get to them shortly. Right now, you're number 3.
I'm wearing their hat right now.
San Diego.
For the people not watching on YouTube, I've got the San Diego Padres third on my list.
Third best team in baseball, you feel?
Just outside of the World Series. I've got them on the... I really hope this is the year. But based on my rankings, I've got them in the NLCS.
Third best. Okay.
Third best. Can you handle that? Can you live with that?
I don't have a choice. What am I going to do? Climb over the desk and...
I'd like to see if they're on your list.
Number 3, Los Angeles Dodgers for me.
Boo.
Well, I love to boo them too. They're still the defending World Series champs. They still have an incredible amount of talent.
Our lists are quite different.
They need a little more health. There's no question. And they're certainly beatable right now. This is why we've talked about this all day long, that they can be had, but they deserve enough respect to be at least third. For me.
Number 2.
Number 2 for you.
Spoiler alert, the team you just listed, not in my top 5.
Okay.
How do you like that?
It's fine. I think it's wrong, but that's fine.
Number 2 will be my AL World Series representative, the team who I actually said I believe has a better bullpen than the Yankees. That would be the Seattle Mariners. Love their starting rotation. Love their starting rotation. I'd say it's probably the best in baseball. Cal Raleigh, obviously, I think is going to win MVP. They added both Naylor and Suarez at the trade deadline. Feels like something magical is brewing up in Seattle. Give me the Mariners, number 2 on my list.
How many World Series appearances for them?
That would be 0.
Name any member of their bullpen behind Andres Munoz.
Matt Brash, Gabe Spire.
Okay.
Those okay for you?
Their names, they're not okay for me. I've never heard of any of them pitching in any important game anywhere.
Just because you've never heard of them doesn't mean they're no good.
I didn't say that. You're saying they're better than
Gabe
the Yankees.
Spire has a 2.25 ERA and a .91 whip, a lefty.
You got it.
Matt Brash,
Mariners
former
number 2.
Padre, throws heat. Great
My number
stuff.
2.
124 ERA, by the way, for Matt Brash.
Number 2 for me, the Padres.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
I think the Padres are that good. I'm not just, going to root them on and not back it up. I think they've got that good of a squad now after the trade deadline. If you want to say it's a hometown call, I don't know, maybe if I lived in Atlanta or, North Carolina right now, I wouldn't think that highly what the Padres had done, but I don't. I live here and I've seen what they've done and I see what this club looks like now. And I think if everybody comes back and they're healthy with this bullpen, the starters, the depth now on the in the lineup, power is the concern. They don't have any power, but they may have more now.
So just for those keeping track at home, we both have them as a top 3 team in baseball or a top 3 World Series contender.
I got them second.
You got them higher
I
than
bet we
me?
both have the same number 1.
Number 1.
Well, there's a couple teams left, and only one can be one, meaning some of these teams might not have made our top 5. My number 1 is my NL representative. It's the Philadelphia Phillies. That rotation, Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez, Jesus Luzardo. Nola's supposed to be coming back pretty soon. Plus, the offensive firepower. Schwarber, Harper, Real Muto, Castellanos, Trey Turner. I hate to say it because I do not like the team.
Harrison Bader?
Bryson Stott. But I'll take the Phillies as my number 1 team in baseball.
I said
Which means the Tigers are not in my top 5 and the Blue Jays are not in my top 5.
Phillies are my number 1 as well. Said it yesterday in the roundtable. They're the team that I fear the most in the National League. They got the best lineup. Their bullpen could be an Achilles heel, but the ninth inning is not with the addition of Duran.
Yep.
They also
signed Robertson.
Now they get Alvarado back, but only for the rest of the regular season.
Correct.
Then he has to go away again.
Correct.
But yeah, I think the Phillies are the biggest danger to the Padres. Teams that didn't get a mention at all: Blue Jays, Cubs, Tigers, Red Sox, Mets.
Some of those teams are surprising, right?
Some of those teams are pretty good. They didn't get a mention.
The Blue Jays have the second best team record in all of baseball. The Cubs have the third best record in all of baseball, and neither made our top 5.
Tigers have been the best record in baseball all year till recently. They didn't make it. All right, that's our countdown. Kind of a fun one.
By the way, just to mention, like, the Cubs were pretty quiet at the trade deadline. The Tigers added Kyle Finnegan, right, in their bullpen, but what the Blue Jays weren't super active either, were they? They added Shane Bieber.
We might be overstating the trade deadline. We'll see.
Is that recency bias on our part?
Sometimes. You got Seattle and the Padres in your top 3. If it's up to the trade deadline,
those Phillies got Duran.
Right, but the best 2 teams at the trade deadline were Padres and Mariners. How about an all Peoria Sports Complex World Series?
Vetter Cup.
I know we'd sign up for it because we'd be in it. We got the Big 5 next on Gwynn and Chris.
And now, the challenger, representing the San Diego Padres, number 20, Kyle Higashioka. Just 1 minute remaining. 4 in a row now. In, out of here. That one up into the monster seat. Another home run. And that ends the round. He ends the round with 7 home runs. And he has earned a trip to the semifinal matchup. Now the challenger is a semifinal matchup. Number 20, Kyle Higashioka. No doubt about that one. That one carried on to Lansdowne. That one is gone. He now has bonus time. Just 1 minute remaining. No question about that one. And pass it up to put up in the championship matchup. And that ends the round. Finishes. Let's see what he can do. And now, the challenger in this championship round, Kyle Higashioka. That one carried on to Lansdowne. That one is gone. And he's earned 30 seconds of bonus time. Just 1 minute remaining. That's gone off the right pole. There's a home run. seconds left. And now, the challenger, representing the San Diego Padres, number 20, Kyle Higashioka. Just 1 minute remaining. It's out of here. That one up into the monster seat. Another home run. And that ends the round. He ends the round with 7 home runs. And he has earned the trip to the semifinal matchup. Now the challenger in this semifinal matchup, number 20, Kyle Higashioka. No doubt about that one. That one carried on to Lansdowne. That one is gone. He now has bonus time. Just 1 minute remaining. No question about that one. And taps it up to put up in the...
Welcome back, Gwynn and Chris. Today, little Chris and Adam, I guess it would be. Adam Klug sitting in for Scraby today. Scraby's doing his fantasy football draft, but it's a whole production. It's not like he's just doing a draft today. He and his buddies, what they do, they make a whole weekend out of it, like a lot of people do for their fantasy drafts. And they compete in a lot of different contests, golf, many others. And they add up the points. And whoever has the best performance, that's how you get your number one pick and on down the line. So Scraby always picks like last because he's gets beaten in these contests.
How many fantasy football leagues are you in?
One.
Just one.
I've never been in more than one. I don't like to be in more than one. I don't like to root for and against the same player. I've always found that to be an issue.
I got to be honest, Chris. I am only in one league, and I'm only in one league for the exact same reason.
I'm stupid. Some people are in like 4 or 5 leagues. I don't even know how you know what you're doing. How do you know what to root for? Yeah, I've always been in one. All right, we're going to get to the Big Five. I want to go back over our picks, too, for our countdown, but we'll have to do that at the top of the hour because we got to get stuff done right now after some traffic, Adam.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic
that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Adam's going to try to count it down properly. A couple of weeks ago, he thought we started with number 1. We actually start with number 5. I know you're clear on that now.
Can I shout out to my kids who are watching the show right now on YouTube?
They are. Yeah, I'd like to shout out to them.
They even liked the YouTube show, and if you are watching, we hope you will as well.
I think I'm going to say this, Adam. I've seen your kids. They're cute kids.
Thank you very much.
Got a good-looking crew there. How old are your kids now?
You have to say that. I'm sitting right here.
No, I don't. I would just say nothing.
My daughter Brooke is 10.
Okay.
My son Ethan is 8, and my youngest son Aiden is 3.
Yeah, you have Brooke, Ethan, and Ethan, huh?
Yeah,
That's
Brooke,
interesting.
Ethan, and Aiden.
Oh, Aiden. Okay.
Number 5.
It's a good crew. Good-looking
Thank you very
crew
much.
there.
Thank you.
Your wife must do a great job with them.
She is a goddess.
I'm giving her all the credit.
Let's start in the world of baseball, where there's a bit of an odd development in St. Louis. Former Cardinals star Yadier Molina will make his first public appearance on behalf of the organization this weekend when he's in full uniform and in the dugout as part of Ollie Marmol's coaching staff for St. Louis's games both today and tomorrow. Molina managed Team Puerto Rico in the last WBC and will manage again in the next one, and he hasn't been shy about his desire to manage in the majors. Meanwhile, the Cardinals haven't made the playoffs since 2022, placing current manager Ollie Marmol squarely on the hot seat. Molina reached out to John Mozeliak and Marmol earlier in the year, and he told him he'd be attending this series and asked about being in uniform, and Marmol said it was an easy choice to say yes to adding him to the staff.
You saying that he should be looking over his shoulder?
Do you believe Ollie Marmol is truly comfortable with having someone as beloved as Yadi Molina, who could be viewed as his potential replacement in uniform and in the dugout for these games?
Well, I think, he doesn't really have a lot of choice, right? I mean, the general manager is the one backing all this up and telling him
The story says that Molina reached out to Marmol as well, but what's he going to do? Say no?
Right. This is, it's a bit awkward. I'm going to say it's awkward. It is. So I don't blame Ollie Marmol for feeling it's awkward, number one. And I do blame Mozeliak.
Well, for what it's worth, Marmol said it was an easy decision to say yes.
Yeah, I know.
But again, he's got to say that. I'm saying I don't believe him.
Yeah, I don't either. I think Mozeliak's putting him in a really tough spot. And I don't think you should do that to your manager, honestly. On the other hand, I am hoping at least Yadier Molina is going to handle it the right way. After all, Mike Schilt was in this organization with Bob Melvin as the manager, and I think Mike Schilt handled it fine. So there's a lot of, give and take here. But, yeah, I think it's a little awkward. Have a guy that really wants to be a manager in uniform, and he's a legend, and now you're trying to make moves, and he's standing there. A little odd.
Well, if I were the manager, I wouldn't do that.
All right.
Number 4.
He's sitting right there.
I know.
We'll stick with baseball as we've got a matchup of two future first ballot Hall of Famers, fame starters squaring off today in the Blue Jays-Dodgers game. Max Scherzer will start for Toronto with Clayton Kershaw on the bump for L.A.
Right.
Scherzer has a career record of 218 and 113 with a 3.18 ERA, 3,451 strikeouts, and 3 Cy Youngs. Kershaw's got a career record of 217 and 96 with a 2.52 ERA, 3,100 strikeouts, 3 Cy Youngs, and an NL MVP. Chris, toss up. Which is the greater pitcher historically, Scherzer or Kershaw?
Going Kershaw. I know that doesn't sit well with Padre fans, but I just have seen Kershaw more up close, more personal. I just think, he's a more legendary pitcher. He's got the best ERA of any pitcher who's ever pitched since, in this century. So I go Kershaw here. Scherzer's a better strikeout guy, but not by a lot. They both have 3,000, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Kershaw here. Take him, give him the nod. Scherzer kind of bugs me a little bit too.
Clayton Kershaw.
Is that a personal thing? I don't think so. I think it's more just I think Kershaw's a little better, but it's close.
Can I at least say career postseason ERA 4.49?
Yep.
Allowed to throw that in
You
there?
can. What's Scherzer's? I don't know if it's a whole lot better.
I have to look it up. I
with
just
you.
wanted to take a dig at Clayton Kershaw.
You did. And fair enough. Kershaw's won a lot of big postseason games, too. He's lost them. He's won some. Maybe that figures into the overall Kershaw.
Max Scherzer, career ERA in the postseason, 3.78.
Yeah, so he hasn't exactly locked everybody down either.
Number 3.
Who'd you take between the two of them, by the way? They were teammates, by the way, for the Dodgers for a little bit there. That was after Scherzer. That's after Scherzer was a Padre for 2 hours, thanks to Ken Rosenthal.
I'll refer to him as this. I'll take the guy who's the crying meme.
You can take the crying meme?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to bring up that.
The 2.52 ERA. You got
that's
NL MVP, man, as a
he's
pitcher.
2.52 ERA. Like, no pitcher's ever done that. Not since, 1900. No starter.
Number 3.
Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson exited last night's preseason game after dislocating his right pinky finger while taking a sack. The injury is not considered serious, and he could return to practice as soon as tomorrow. On the other side of the matchup, Ravens rookie cornerback Bilal Cohn will miss the entire season after tearing a ligament in his knee. If you were an NFL coach, would you subject your starters to injuries by playing them in preseason games, or would you hold them out, which prevents them from building chemistry and knocking off rust before the regular season?
I'd hold them out. Just not that important. And I don't buy into that rust thing. I think they get all that stuff done in practice. I think they know all the throws. They do all the work. They've all played in enough games. I don't really think they even need game speed to get ready. I think practice can be tuned up to game speed without the quarterback being hit. I see no benefit at all, personally. And I probably do the same thing everybody else would do when I watch my quarterback play in a preseason game. Just hope that they block for him so nobody gets there.
Right.
So I think it's silly to take this risk at this point. I think back in the day it was much more important. Guys stay in shape now, man. They're ready. They're working out. They play all season, off season. They're throwing. Most quarterback wide receiver duos probably spend some time together in the off season.
Can I throw off a little addendum to this question?
Sure.
Would you let your players play in international competitions, the Olympics, the World Baseball Classic, stuff like that? That's not this is preseason. It's
you're talking
exhibition.
baseball when you're talking
We saw Edwin
basketball.
Diaz get injured in the WBC. We saw Paul George get injured in the Olympics.
Edwin Diaz would have got injured standing in his front lawn the way he got injured. Yeah, I would allow that.
Number 2.
Two of the NFL's highest profile rookies will make their preseason debuts tonight. We'll get a chance to see the reigning Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter play both offense and defense for the Jaguars, while Shedeur Sanders will start at quarterback for the Browns. Which rookie debut interests you more, Travis Hunter or Shedeur Sanders?
You're not going to like my answer. I care less what either of them do. And I will tell you this.
That was
because
not one of the choices, Chris.
I know it wasn't. You're going to hear this some point, though, tonight or tomorrow or sometime. Here it is, the highlight of Shedeur Sanders' first NFL touchdown pass. Except it isn't. Not going to go on any record, anywhere, ever. It's a preseason game. What do you think about What do you think about Travis Hunter? Do you think because we talked about this Scraby and I the other day, whether we think he's going to make it? Like, is he going to play both? What do you think? What do you think is going to be? Well, and you know what I mean. What do you think is going to be the final analysis at the end of the season? Is he going to play both? Is he going to play one? Is he going to be good?
He's obviously going to play both. They've already come. He's going to.
No,
play
I know
both.
he's going to play both, but how much do you think?
I think he's going to play quite a bit on both.
Really?
Offense and defense.
Really?
Not like 100% snaps, but I think 60, 70, 80% both.
And do you think he's going to be good?
I think he is
At
going
both?
to be electric. I think he's now look. I don't know how he's going to do it. His overall statistics will be in terms of like fantasy. Like, will he play enough to accumulate monster stats?
Okay.
But I think he's a superstar. Even
You
if
do.
he, it's like
You love this guy.
He might get 50 catches and 500 yards, but if he does that and he's a lockdown corner, he's a superstar, even if he's not 100 catches.
What about
does
him
that make
makes
sense?
you think he's a lockdown corner? Because Dion says he's that good. Have you seen anything that? I don't know.
I watch a lot of college football.
Yeah, I know you do. I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking you.
I think I'm stunned he's going to be playing so much offense.
I can't believe he's a
drafted
lockdown corner before he's ever even suited up. That's pretty impressive.
I thought he would be drafted mostly as a cornerback. And they've said and the Jaguars have said he'll primarily be a receiver. So I'm a little surprised by that.
I think he's going to play all defense, and I think you're going to see him sparingly on offense.
Number 1.
I don't think that's the case at all.
Okay. They already have a pretty good wide receiver there.
Correct.
What's his name? Thomas?
Brian Thomas. They don't have anybody else.
Okay.
And they come out and say he's going to play a ton of receiver. Let's move on. Last story here. Ohio State fans are mad online again. Shocker, I know. The school's AD, Ross Bjork, told WOSU's All Sides that he expects the huge matchup between Ohio State and Penn State to be featured on Fox's Big Noon Kickoff. Fox has the rights to the Big Ten and airs their biggest game of the week in the noon Eastern time slot and broadcasts their pregame show on site to compete with ESPN's College Game Day. But Ohio State fans hate the early time slot because they prefer night games and prime time and more time to tailgate. Also, the school announced a blackout for this game where all the fans are going to wear black. But, that looks a lot cooler at night rather than in broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
This is a deal that the Big Ten agreed to with Fox. Do Ohio State and Big Ten fans have a right to be upset?
Nope. Here you go, Ohio State and Penn State and any fan of these teams that enjoys their success. Fox paid $7 billion for this shit stuff. Oh my God, I've never done that before. Isn't that funny? You got it. And I didn't finish the word. Are we good?
We're good.
Never have done that. And I've been on the air for
Hi, YouTube
50
audience.
years. I didn't finish the word.
I think you did.
You think?
Yeah.
Sorry. My bad. $7 billion gets the talk here. Why did I do that? My God. And now we go into the happy hour after that. Who knows what's going to happen next on Gwynn and Chris? Yikes. Yikes.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
Oh, you idiot. Typical tandem student right there.
I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy.
Fun, huh?
You need help with anything? Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
Hi, happy to be with you as we head into the happy hour. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Chris Ello. Without Tony Gwynn Jr. today and without Mr. Scraby, Adam Klug sitting in alongside our happy hour brought to you by GL Pools. The swimming pool experts, they're trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball season full swing. So is swim season. Call GL Pools. When you do, mention the word radio and you'll get a free month. A pool service. That's not just a throwaway line. That's pretty cool. A free month of pool service. So call GL Pools and take advantage of that. Padres-Red Sox tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series at Petco Park. Padres will begin play 2 games back of the Dodgers in the NL West. Red Sox are 4 back of Toronto in the AL East. And wouldn't you know it, the Dodgers are playing Toronto. So both teams and both games will be keeping an eye on each other, I would imagine. Nick Pavetta, former Red Sox, makes his first start since leaving them against them. And Walker Buehler, not having a very good year, but certainly should have the respect of San Diego. He has gone 6-1 with a 1.80 career ERA against the Padres. That Dodger-Blue Jay matchup tonight, by the way, features Kershaw versus Scherzer, 2 Hall of Fame to be pitchers going at it up there in L.A. Adam and I were talking about the WAR statistic. It came up because Kershaw's number 3 active in WAR, and Scherzer's number 4 active. I think everybody knows who the active leader is in WAR because his whole career is built on this statistic. Mike Trout is number 1. Number 2 might be a surprise, but I think you'd nod your head when you hear the name Justin Verlander. He's just ahead of Kershaw. Here's how stupid WAR is. And, you know, I don't even know why I have to make this point, but I'll make it anyway. Adam Klug, be honest, straight answer. Who's better this season? Fernando Tatis Jr. or Manny Machado? Who's better? I don't break it down statistically. Just tell me as a baseball fan who's better this season.
Manny Machado.
And wouldn't the answer be the same for about 499 out of 500 people? There might be somebody somewhere who could try to make a great case that Fernando has been better this year than Manny.
It's got to be his base running because obviously they're both good defensive players too.
Fernando's a 4.7 WAR and Manny's a 3.7. It's not even close. That's all I need to know about how dumb the WAR statistic is. We all watch the games, from casual fans to hardcore fans to experts to coaches, managers, players, executives. There is no way anyone in their right mind can tell me or you that based on this entire season, Fernando has been better than Manny. And so that's why I think the WAR statistic makes no sense to me. I get that they're trying to measure it. I get that you're trying to find a way to measure who truly is better. But I don't think this is what works, frankly. Nothing from you on that, Mr. WAR statistic?
I hear you.
I'm just saying. I mean, Padres have won 9 of 11. So have the Red Sox. So it's a really good matchup coming up this weekend. I was checking out the Red Sox a little bit. They the first guy up tonight, by the way, you might want to ask him for a loan when he steps into the batter's box. Roman Anthony, the number 1 prospect in baseball, called up by the Red Sox. What was it, a month or so ago, Adam?
Yeah, it took them. They waited a lot longer than most people thought, and obviously, you know, that was kind of in the background for the whole Devers drama. Is that their outfield was crowded and didn't have a room for him. But, you know,
they got room for him now.
He could have DH'd if Devers would have moved.
But anyway, now that Anthony's there, he's got he's got 2 home runs. That's it. 276 batting average. He's only played 47 games. He hasn't really made a huge impact yet. 194 plate appearances, 2 home runs. But he's leading off, and he's got an 8-year, $130 million contract, which is pretty sweet. Compares favorably, maybe even better than the one Jackson Merrill has, 9 years, 135 with the Padres. So that's what the Sox think of this guy. Trevor Story's been a revelation this year. We remember him from the Rocky days when he used to be good. Well, he was bad for a few years, but he's kind of good again. He's got 18 homers this year, 735 OPS in the middle of their lineup. And I think people are familiar with Pregame, who's in there. You kind of got to catch up a little on these American League teams. We don't see them a lot. Jaron Duran, the guy everybody talked about trading for, is in there tonight. Their top home run hitter is a guy named Wilyer Abreu, right fielder with 20 home runs. They have a second baseman by the name of Ceddanne Rafaela. He's normally an outfielder. He's having a good year. And in fact, Adam, he leads the Red Sox in WAR.
I think that.
So there you go.
Well, that's a really interesting.
If you're impressed with WAR, he's your guy for the Red Sox.
Because he's not who I would have guessed. Who I would have guessed is someone I was about to make a point about, which was obviously with the Padres fans, we've all been going through it with the trade deadline and the idea of giving up prospects for proven major league talent.
Okay.
Right? The Red Sox did that this past offseason. They traded for Garrett Crochet, who leads all of baseball in strikeouts with 183 strikeouts. 2.24 ERA, 107 WHIP. The guy's having a Cy Young season, and you know they gave up some prospects. Now he's on the Red Sox.
Yeah, but he's not.
But he's not facing
the
Padres will miss him. Like
not
they
facing
always
us. Yeah, he actually has a higher WAR than Rafaela does. Crochet's 4.7, but Rafaela's the WAR leader among hitters.
So my intuition was right. He is their WAR leader.
Right. But
Crochet.
Rafaela's a bit of a surprise in the sense that
Bregman's been hurt also, right?
He's the guy that leads the ball club. They also have a catcher today batting ninth. I don't want to jinx this, but I'll go ahead and try. Catcher for the Red Sox batting ninth tonight, Connor Wong. Decent player, but not so much this year. I don't know if you've seen his stats, Adam. Connor Wong this year has 106 at-bats, 119 plate appearances. That's a lot. He's hitting 160, which isn't good. Even worse, he has 2 RBIs the whole year.
Well, he's not their main catcher.
No, he's not.
Carlos
Narvaez
is. He's got a 729 OPS this year.
No, our Narvaez has been good. I'm just saying we're going to get Wong tonight. He's got 2 RBIs the whole year. Let's make sure we keep that intact tonight, people.
The Red Sox traded for Narvaez this past offseason, got him from the Yankees in exchange for a minor league right-hander. Just a throwaway kind of meh trade. It's worked out really well for the Red Sox.
Good for the Red Sox. Tonight it's Buehler. Tomorrow it's Giolito. Giolito's 8-2. He hasn't been the same ever since he left the White Sox, but he's had a bit of a rebound year. And Bayo is going to start on Sunday, 8-5, 303. So they got, 3 good pitchers. Aroldis Chapman is their closer. I thought that might be an issue this year. I mean, he's been more of a 7th, 8th inning guy the last 5-6 years. And then they said, nope, you're just going to be the 9th guy now. Come through with 21 saves and a 1.21 ERA. So Chapman has been really good. He's on the All-Star team, as was Crochet, as was had one more All-Star, and now I lost it. Is it Durant?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I had it here for a minute or two, but like I said, I've lost the page. It's been that kind of day, Adam.
I mean, can we talk about what happened at the end of last hour?
Well,
just trying to let that one scoot by.
Yeah, let's just move on. There was no explanation that I have for it, so I don't see any reason to keep bringing it up. You want to keep bringing it up?
No, just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. I mean, it happened. I don't know how it happened, but it did. All right. Red Sox Padres pregame show. Sam Levitt. David Morgan was with us earlier. We'll hear a little bit of that interview coming up in this hour. And there was a couple of things that I wanted to get to, and I've kind of forgotten what they are. Did you see what? No, I don't know if that's even worth it. I'm kind of acting a little crazy right now, Adam. I must tell you.
You need a minute to gather your thoughts here?
No, I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. What are the Chargers thinking about Najee Harris? Superstar, paid running back, right? Brought in from Pittsburgh.
1-year deal.
I know, but they were counting on this guy to be the guy. They let J.K. Dobbins go. Harris, July 4th, fireworks mishap. And they don't think he's going to even be ready for week 1. There's a lot of people who think he's not going to be ready at all. I don't know that that's fair to say. That maybe the Chargers haven't been completely forthcoming with the real injury information here. Because the Chargers have not disclosed what the injury even is. But he's not playing. He's not in camp. He's not anywhere. He's on the non-football injury illness list. So that'll be interesting to see how that turns out. He doesn't have to go to Brazil. By the way, that was a really fair complaint that the Charger fans had. Did you see people from the Chargers or Charger season ticket holders wanted their money back? Some, not all of them, but some of them. Because the Chargers sold season tickets with the guys that the Chiefs were on the schedule. Well, they are. If you want to go to Brazil, I think that's fair. I think the Chargers should have to refund some of that money to people who want it refunded. If part of the season ticket package is to see a team that goes to the Super Bowl every year, and now I don't get to see them, do I have a right to get my money back? What do you think?
I'm sure Dean Spanos is going to be quickly refunding that money.
I'm sure he'll be writing checks right and left. Yeah, I mean, the other side of the argument is if you buy season tickets for the Lakers because you want to see, I don't know, I'll just throw Jason Tatum in there when the Celtics come and then he's not in the lineup, do you get your money back for that? No. It's kind of a tricky one. You find that tricky or no?
I mean, I think we talked about this the last time was in. I think load management is
never mind that. Go to this ticket thing with the Chargers. I mean, if you advertise, hey, come see the Super Bowl, 3-time Super Bowl champion Chiefs, get season tickets. That's part of your
If you're going to buy the tickets, you should do your homework and know what you're buying tickets for. But if the Chargers
do your research and think that the game might be moved to Brazil,
if the Chargers are outwardly advertising, unless it comes with a ticket to Brazil to the game, just to the game,
doesn't
exactly. So yeah, that's false advertisement.
I bet it. Well, maybe they will let them go to the game if they want to go to Brazil. Look, the Chargers and the NFL are the same people that wouldn't give me my money back when I had tickets to that Bronco Charger game last year on a Sunday and they moved it to a Thursday. And I could no longer
bitter,
go.
Are you?
No, I'm just bringing it up. Is that fair? We bought parking. People from Denver bought airline tickets to fly out on a Friday only to find that the game had been moved to Thursday. And by the way, the NFL thinks that's so cool now. They've decided this year they can do that anytime they want now. Move Sunday games to Thursday. I don't think it's right. I know the NFL can do whatever the bleep they want, and they do. Check some traffic. Come back. David Morgan, interesting conversation on Friar Friday. Next. 3 weeks. That's all it'll be until college football season starts, Adam Klug. 28th, less than 3 weeks. Aztecs play their first game. I think it's August 30th, Texas, Ohio State for the first big game of the year. I know you're a Georgia guy, so you're into big time college football. I'm assuming all of the greed that now surrounds that sport and all the NIL money probably doesn't affect you a whole lot because you were already big time college football. I personally feel like we're being left behind here in San Diego by college football. And, as a result, I'm going to watch because I'm a fan of sports and football, but college football is kind of bothering me right now a little bit.
I think
don't really care for, the arrogance, although they certainly deserve to have the arrogance. They have all the money. They have all the TV contracts. They have the best players and thus the best teams. I don't begrudge them that. I think that college football is a kind of a lousy place to be right now. I hate to, don't like that. I like, the Aztecs can compete for their own championship out here and nice, but I guess if they go 12-0, they could get into the playoff, but even though that's available, I don't find that to be a realistic probability. Anyway, just thought I'd mention it. I like college football in general, but I don't like it as much as I used to. I did not know this, though. New football coach at Bowling Green this year. Eddie George. Remember him? Running back for the Titans, the whole thing. Won the Heisman Trophy at Ohio State in 1995. Pro Football Hall of Famer. Eddie George going to coach. Did you know that Michael Vick is coaching this year in college?
I did know that.
Okay, you did. Norfolk State, if you're wondering about the whereabouts of Michael Vick. Deshaun Jackson. Kind of a troublemaker when he played, wasn't he? Well, now he's going to be in charge of troublemakers at Delaware State. Trent Dilfer's already been doing it for a couple of years, and not well, by the way, at UAB. He's gone 7-17. I don't know. So Belichick, Deion Sanders, not the only big names in college football these days. I don't know. I wish that either do it or break away and go USCC and Big Ten, and you guys have your own games. And just let the rest of us play college football. Or find a way to spread the wealth and get everybody involved. Here's the funny thing. Neither will happen. Preseason football is happening. Patriots are routing the Commanders 17-0. Trayvon Henderson, who's he? He's a rookie, but where's he from?
Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was good.
High second-round pick.
He was good. 100-yard kickoff return to start that game for the Pats. Falcons are in action. Leading 10-7. Got to be thinking Super Bowl, Adam. All right, it's Friar Friday. Earlier, we were joined by David Morgan, Padres reliever. And it was a good, I thought really intuitive interview. Give you a chance to hear it right now. All right, I'm excited to talk to David Morgan, our Friar Friday interview. And David joins us from Petco right now. Appreciate the time, David Morgan. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, let's throw something a little different at you to start. Since becoming a legit part of this Padre bullpen and contributing the way you have, anybody come up to you yet and say, hey, you're helping my fantasy team? And what does that sound like to a major league player who probably hasn't heard it a whole lot before?
I haven't had anyone in person ask me that question yet, but I do get a lot of messages on social media.
Okay.
Thanking me for that, and for obviously if things don't go well, getting the opposite end of that, the opposite section of that too.
Yeah. Well, look, I thought I'd throw a little something different at you to start. Look, May 26th, you made your debut, And we can talk a little bit about what went into getting to that point. But where would you say you are mentally since that day to now? Maybe even just confidence or just overall having been with this club for as long as you have now. Make the comparison from May 26th to, say, August 8th here.
I think just, like you said, confidence is the biggest thing. Obviously, this isn't the easiest clubhouse to walk into. You got a lot of older guys who been around the game a long time. Since the first day, I've made some good relationships here, and those guys have pushed me and just kind of taken me in with open arms and made me feel like I was truly a part of the team. And that's really helped me settle in. Just the friendships, meeting them for the first time and that becoming a friendship now has built my confidence and helped me just continue to move forward.
David Morgan has been doing it and doing a really good job here for the Padres. And, I was watching you warm up the other night out there in the 10th inning or 11th inning, I guess it was, at Chase Field. And the Padres had a 1-2 run lead. And it was pretty clear you were coming in. And, I was thinking, hey, you're going to get your first save of your career. And then they scored too many runs, so you couldn't get the save. I know you didn't. You don't think about that. But just you have to feel better about the fact that they trust you now, in these kind of spots, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was in that game regardless of how many runs we put up. So
yeah, right.
Starting to warm up, kind of putting myself into a close game situation in my mind. But then obviously we had a little bit of a barrel party there, scored some runs, and made the win a little bit easier. So at the end of the day, that's all that matters, the win. Getting the save is cool, but the win is what's important.
For sure. David Morgan he was actually born here in North County and grew up between San Diego and Orange County, went to OCC, Orange Coast College up there. And you weren't drafted. I've read that, that was not something that deterred you. You ended up getting signed by the Padres, but not being drafted, has it ever kind of given you an extra little edge, a little grind, an axe to grind type of thing?
Yeah, that kind of, obviously for me, it was just thankful for the opportunity and to try to make the most of it, but the organization, treated every single guy, whether you're the first rounder or the last pick, they treated us all the same and treated us with respect. So that made my life a little bit easier, coming into Pro Bowl.
And, boy, you get drafted 2022, but you make your debut 2025. Take us through, the process of the last 3 years and, kind of gaining a foothold in this organization to where you could get that opportunity this year.
Yeah, just keeping an open mind, kind of identifying what is important to the organization and getting really good at those things. That was kind of the biggest thing for me, was just identifying what was important here. And one of those things is building relationships and working hard in the weight room, on the field, off the field. And so that's kind of been my perception of it, is the relationships I've built is a big reason why I got pushed forward. Obviously performance is a big thing, but work ethic and the relationships you build along the way, that's, I think, what really got me the opportunities to continue to move up, and then ultimately putting up a good enough of a performance to get called up here and then, stick around a little bit.
David Morgan is our guest, and I did read the article that was going to be in the paper probably tomorrow. So I really did want to just touch on this. Your coach at Orange Coast College, John Altobelli, had a profound effect on you and your career and everything that you've done. And he tragically lost his life in the helicopter crash that took Kobe Bryant. And you talked in this article a little bit about he was already the kind of guy that told you every day was the most important, every practice was the most important. But in his passing, you said that has really hit home with you, and you don't take anything for granted, and every day is the biggest deal.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's all you have. Right. It's a pretty cliche saying of, today's all you got. Right. But that's how he lived. It's today's the only day you can get better. You can't worry about tomorrow. You can't worry about the past. So he kind of spoke that into existence by, obviously we lost him, and that was a rough time of my life for sure. But his words kind of rang true in my life, and I kind of saw it portrayed in my life now. So yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, it was honestly, it was very nice of you to share it because I mean, so many people go through what you did go through, and we try to learn those lessons and incorporate them in our lives. And to see that you've been able to do it is a nice inspiration for the rest of us. I'll let you go on this one. Mason Miller comes into the bullpen. The trade deadline happens. Give me just a feel. Look, they call you guys the best bullpen in baseball. That includes you now, David. I must say.
Yep.
How do you like this whole thing?
I love it. Yeah, obviously you add a guy like that with his abilities. Some things are going to change a little bit, but I think you guys have probably seen in the last week since he's been here, there's been some roles kind of changed a little bit, which is the biggest part. But he's here to help us and just make this bullpen even better. So he's been a great addition. He's been a really cool guy to work with, and we're all very excited.
I'll come full circle in our interview now, David, and I will tell you, I picked you up on the fantasy squad about a month ago, and I appreciate it. We finished in a full circle here. Thank you so much, and enjoyed getting talked to you. Good luck the rest of the way, man. We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Right on. Thank you.
Good stuff, David Morgan. Padres reliever from Rancho Penasquitos to the big leagues and a big contributor to what the Padres are doing. All right, I mentioned it earlier. Shedeur Sanders tonight would probably throw his first NFL touchdown. He did. And you got the Browns. Who was it against? Carolina, I believe. Anyway, Shedeur Sanders, they'll tell you tonight, threw his first NFL touchdown. Only he didn't. It doesn't count. Preseason action.
Hasn't even attempted a pass in his life, right?
You got that right, Adam Klug. Something to take with you into the weekend. The NBA season is only 2 months away. They just handed out the trophy. But October 21st, opening night, according to ESPN, Houston at Oklahoma City, followed by, take a guess, Adam, unless you already saw this.
The Lakers.
Who do you think they're playing if you just had to guess off the top of your head on opening night?
Dubs.
Got it. Shocking.
I did not see it, by the way.
Right, I was going to say, it's not even a story you have to guess at. Like, it's Lakers Warriors. All right, thanks, Adam. For Tony, Scraby, they'll both be back Monday. Stick around, Padre Baseball coming up against the Bo Sox. Enjoy the weekend, everyone.